you.
You're scared. And you should be.
This is not your company anymore.
Leave the cheek of CM Punk.
Out. Combo move. This is what they've been doing. Hey, McAfee.
Everyone shut the up and sit down!
We got a mom in the front row who taught her daughter how to suck dick.
I'm Mina Shirakawa. I used to be a model. I want to put on a big show.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by yours truly, the Renegade J.J. Williams. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. CM Punk drama bullshit to the side. I still consider Heyman the worst AEW champion they've had. First of all, we're going to bring in Walter Cruz.
I said that as a joke when, what's his name, did his promo Monday. He said, I'm from a prestige university. I said he majored in Steiner math.
We've got the Heb man, James Hebert, in the house.
I do really cool and dumb things. Bring the intense.
Right. A lot of shit going on here. A lot of fucking crazy ass shit.
Where is Noah JD? Well, say his name and he appears, because we believe in Noah Foster.
Fuck is this intro? It is one of those things where, as fans, we do have these desires of what we want to see, but sometimes you can't always get what you want, and there are reasons you truly don't get what you want. I wouldn't even listen to this in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. What the fuck is this shit? God, rapid whack. Like I said, never been a greater time to be a wrestling fan, and with more companies in a more lucrative spot, in a more comfortable business spot, in a sense of mind, it seems, than ever. Again, WWE is not the only one. It is not the end-all, be-all. So let's go back to the Renegade Wrestling J.J. Williams to get the official word. JJ, speak!
Make sure you tune in every week, because you never know who's going to drop in to join the shenanigans. Catboy is in the house.
Hello, my internet family. I say if you want to make them as evil as possible, make them really mad.
We have Mansfield joining the party now. What is going on, Josh?
Like I told no one when we were in Cleveland, him joining Chase U was just an unfortunate side effect of my shenanigans towards you, JJ. I know how it can get better, Noah. The panel chooses you.
Shut the fuck up, Josh.
He said that so like. We got the intro back. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just like how you and I had lunch together the other week.
That was different.
Ladies and gentlemen, the King is here. Say his name and he appears. We believe in King A-Train. There are so many believers in Joe Hendry. The only person on this panel that doesn't believe in Joe Hendry is King A-Train. Tell the world why you do not believe in Joe Hendry.
The reason I do not believe Joe Hendry is he is Fandango 2.0 in a entrance merchant. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Hey! There's nothing wrong with being an entrance merchant. He has some of the best entrances of all time.
Teleporting into the command center, all the way from Angel Grove High, Datilla.
Oh, yeah. I went to the command center on Thursday. I went to Vasquez Rocks, which is where they filmed a lot of episodes. Somebody actually climbed to the very top of those rocks. I made it halfway. I was like, I'm not going up there. Definitely Toni Storm versus Mariah May. That's the one match I probably am looking forward to the most. I really like the story. I'm familiar with All About Eve, so if it plays out that way, I kind of know how this is gonna go.
Say goodnight, Datilla.
Good night.
James, you did say his name. So he shall appear, ladies and gentlemen. first time on the Shenanigans, Jeff Meacham is in the motherfucking house.
All right, we're coming in hard with the botch. All right, fucking hell. It's good to be back. It's good to have an opportunity to talk to the crowd on a Saturday.
If you want to have yourself stomach through it, you can go back and watch when the Main Event Mafia took over Impact. That's what James is talking about.
So if everybody just joined us, we're talking about people sedating people, attempted murder, boys, and tips. Welcome to Saturday Shenanigans, everybody. Aren't you glad I'm back?
Welcome back, Jeff.
Cool. What is going on, everybody, and welcome once again to the weekly festivities that are the Saturday Shenanigans. It is I, your normal host with the most, your moderator extraordinaire, the renegade of wrestling, JJ Williams, here this evening to entertain, moderate, and host from a remote location. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to go ahead and bring everybody in. Everyone is already here waiting to entertain and discuss the topics, answer viewer questions. Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz, the He-Man James Hebert, and the man who has played straight man to my stupidity for the better part of the afternoon evening, the simple man with the spectacular voice, Noah Foster. Gentlemen, how is everybody doing? James, first time I've seen you on camera today. How are you doing? We'll start with you.
I am good. I'm eating chips. That means I'm a happy fat kid. Pretty much it. I'm a happy kid. That's it. But overall, I'm doing good. Good Puerto Rican show today. Very, very Puerto Rican heavy. Fun time. Fun times. Charles Mason won the hog title, by the way.
Okay, thank you for that. I was probably going to go back and rewatch it, but you know,
well,
it's all good. You didn't know.
Oh, fair enough. I thought we were going to discuss the shows we watched, but fair enough. Okay. I'll shut up for the rest of the show before it's spoiled.
You don't got to go that serious, James. Jesus. If you were going to shut up for the rest of the show, there'd be no point in you being here.
This is true. But yeah,
the
overall,
tism is tisming again. I see.
Tism is tisming always.
Walter, you popped in briefly after Worlds Collide, and then you and James did your own thing while Noah and I did Money in the Bank. How are you doing this evening?
Muy bien. Hola, mi gente. Oh, wait, wrong string. I gotta switch that off now today. I'm doing fine. Noah, look, I got Noah right at the beginning of the stream. I'm doing fine. Today was awesome. Kind of wish I had chips now. Damn it, James. Yeah. Good night overall. Good fun streaming simultaneous. Today was very busy for all of us. So let's just jump into it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Today, since WrestleMania, today was probably one of the busiest days for streaming we've done because we had 2 simulcasts. We had 2 concurrent streams going for Worlds Collide as Noah and I did English commentary. And for the first time ever, we had a Spanish commentary stream as Walter and the Dominguezes did Spanish commentary. And then while Noah and I did Money in the Bank, Walter and James did House of Glory Puerto Rican Weekend, where I got to assume you did some Spanish commentary as well. Maybe, no, none at all. I didn't think
counting.
I didn't think you would do the whole show in Spanish, but I figured with it being Puerto Rican Weekend, Puerto Rico versus the world, you would get a few things in there in Espanol.
There was a few Spanish words spoken by Walter. I can confirm.
Were they words that you can repeat in English in front of little children?
Yeah.
I did not hear Cabron mentioned, so I think we're
And then again, man, the The man who's been the Laurel to my Hardy, the Abbott to my Costello, the Mo to my Curly all day. Noah Foster, how you doing this evening, bruv?
Usual, JJ. I'm always tired, but I'm always happy to help you when I can. It's good to have you back where you belong. Once again, here on the screen in the host chair. Doing well. It's been a lot of fun today. I mean, again, this week has been absolutely insane with AEW, with TNA, with WWE, with AAA, with Money in the Bank. Today was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. I got a little bit of something good to take away from everything we did. So I'm feeling good, but you know the usual thing as always when it comes to my mental and physical fatigue. I'm with you crazy fools for about 2.5 hours or so. So let's go ahead and get right into it. And again, shout out to Dominguez and Walter for what they did earlier, and Statboy Mike for joining us during Money in the Bank. So let's have a good time, everybody, and wrap up Saturday as we usually do before we can finally get some rest.
Absolutely. You know, I'm glad everybody is doing well. I'm glad that everybody is happy to be here, like Big Baller G. Wishing G the best as well. You know, maybe we'll get some more people popping in as we send the link to the chats where Ashley can receive it, where Datilla can receive it. Datilla, of course, was at both events earlier, so she may be too drained to pop in. But then again, if she gets home and she sees we're still live, she may pop in to give her live from the scene thoughts, if you will. But let's go ahead. Let's start off talking about Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank and just our general thoughts of the major shows today. I know you guys didn't see Money in the Bank. You guys were doing House of Glory, so we'll try to keep it spoiler-free to a certain extent. But, you know, the chat room is what it is. I guess we'll start with you, Walter, having done Worlds Collide in Espanol. What did you think of that event?
Worlds Collide was freaking awesome. And I can't wait to see Money in the Bank because I want to compare it and see, because I got a strong feeling that Worlds Collide was actually better than Money in the Bank. Like, I feel like I can compete with it, and I really would like to see what happened. So I want to watch Money in the Bank and see, but the fact that they kind of made it affect Money in the Bank because they added the Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship, I think that was cool, because I kept saying I think it's a travesty that the son of such a legend like Rey Mysterio is not on Worlds Collide is a travesty to me. And then they ended up having him in the crowd and doing it and adding a match. So I got my money's worth, even though it's free on YouTube. But I got my my money's worth with all that. I mean, they showed what professional wrestling really is. The lucha libre. I know America's not used to that kind of style, except, you know, AEW does it. Okay, they can do the high flying, but AAA showed how it's really done, dude. And I absolutely freaking loved it. The women, of course, they did their thing. I did the Spanish commentary, but I kind of wish I had Noah just to give me the history of everybody, because I was unfamiliar with a lot of the AAA stars, which is a damn shame. And I told the Dominguez and I gave them chances to give the history lesson, but they themselves were unfamiliar. And I was like, man, have some pride in your people, dude.
I'm not surprised.
But I mean, it was all good. It was fun, man. I really enjoyed it. The main event, I thought Vikingo hurt himself. I'm not gonna lie. Like the things he did and his ankle and everything. And Chad Gable, he noticed it and kept attacking his ankle. I really thought Vikingo hurt himself legitimately. But man, that 450. Actually, I think it was a 650. It's 620, I think. Yeah.
630.
630, yeah, but that's crazy to he hit that twice in that match, and Chad Gable actually put up a hell of a fight, man. That dude can go. As much as you can talk about he being an asshole or people not appreciate him, that journey, quote unquote, that he went on to lucha libre really worked for him, because he took Vikingo to the limit, and Vikingo really had to prove himself, and by the skin of his teeth, he won that match. To be honest,
A fair shout.
Yeah, that was one thing I said on the commentary afterwards to Noah is we need to put some respect.
Yeah, we do. We need to put
Hell
some
yeah.
respect on Gable. We always should have.
I've been respecting Gabriel for the longest time. Continue, JJ.
He proved in that match that he deserves to be in the main event.
Yep. Yep.
Again, modern day Kurt Angle in Spain.
Yes. I don't know why he's not pushed higher up on the card. He is like a spitting image of Angle. It's unbelievable.
Because W is so stupid.
And he didn't even look blown up. They put on at least 20 minutes, and he still looked like he can go. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, his conditioning is crazy.
Yeah, Trick Williams and Elijah's main event from freaking Against the Odds could learn a thing or two from that match.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Walter, everything that you just said about Worlds Collide, can you say that again, but in Spanish? Go.
No, thanks.
We have Noah for a limited time, and you want to time to speak in 2 languages.
I had to hit the joke. It was there. It was right there.
As someone who did watch both shows, and I think Noah will agree with me here, Worlds Collide was the better show.
Accurate.
I figured that.
And without spoiling too much, I am going to say that my biggest beef with Money in the Bank was both briefcases were won by established superstars who didn't need the briefcase.
Mm.
Rather than giving an up-and-comer an opportunity to use the briefcase to help make a name for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Both briefcases went to established people. Now, the women's briefcase, I'm willing to give a little bit more leniency on because of recent gimmick change.
Character evolution.
So, and character evolution. So, that one, I'm willing to forgive a little bit. It makes a little bit more sense.
Right.
But the men's briefcase, man, I was fuming. The fact that person won the briefcase, like that's the stuff that drove me away from professional wrestling 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that.
I really wish they had some balls because I don't know exactly who won, but I can guarantee it wasn't my idea. I really liked my idea. I know it was some left field shit, but I kind of wish they did it. If they would have pulled the trigger, had Andrade win that Money in the Bank, and then cash in on Vikingo, instead of cashing in WWE, you cash in on AAA and you make the reunion look important. Or you could have had somebody win it or Gran Americano win it and cash it in AAA, because then now your relationship looks important, and or do it in TNA, like because now you make it look like it's not one sided, because a lot of it's starting to be one sided, because you got Trick Williams being your TNA championship. Every time that people cross over, not every time, but a majority of the time that people cross over, WWE seems to be ending up on top.
So I totally agree. However, the thing about that is they're looking to. There's partly a petty reason, and there's partly not a petty reason. Unfortunately, Al fuck him is the AAA Mega Champion.
No, he's not.
Oh,
He was.
Vikingo he defeated him last week. This is his first defense of the championship since dethroning Alberto El Patron.
I did not know JBL was managing him. That makes sense, by the way. Anyway, yeah. So okay, then yeah, scratch that. I'm actually shocked that wasn't for the title. Him and Gable's match, honestly.
It was for the title.
Oh. Never mind.
James right now is more oblivious than insert anonymous man here.
Yeah. Well, listen, we thought that Manders was defending his championship tonight, and he didn't. So we were very.
That's what the graphic said.
I know. Yeah, we know.
So I put in what the graphic told me.
That's what I said. It said it on the website too, but the title wasn't online.
Cards
freaking weird.
Cards subject to change.
Exactly. We say it all the time.
Politics, brother.
No, you're good, bro. You're good.
Yeah, sorry.
There's so much professional wrestling going on in the world today. It's hard to keep track of all of it.
Yeah, my brain.
Only a madman like Noah Foster can keep track of all of it.
He also has the benefit of knowing how to fucking use Excel spreadsheet.
I honestly still have to watch SmackDown shit.
Do the Superman way. Watch the YouTube highlight. It'll save you 3 hours of blah.
I was going to say, in all honesty, SmackDown was good, but it wasn't enough to warrant 3 hours.
Yeah.
I had it on the television, but I was watching y'all's stream last night more than I was paying attention to that.
There was a stream?
Against all odds.
TNA.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. All right. Fair enough.
That's how out of the loop you are, James.
Bro, I've been fucking hauling ass.
I know you have. That's why I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm doing good now. It's coming now. Part 2 is finalized. It's actually coming out this week. It's actually there.
About goddamn time.
I know, right? Fucking great.
Question is, will Part 3 be out before Cena retires at the end of the year?
No, legitimately.
At this point, GTA 6 is gonna beat you.
No, it can't wait that long. It can't wait that long. I got to make some money. I got to make money, so I got to get that done now.
Oh, that was a good one, though. That was funny.
That was pretty good.
Oh gosh.
So did you see Worlds Collide at all, James? And if so, what were your thoughts?
I haven't gotten a chance to.
Okay.
I plan on watching it tomorrow. So my idea was I was going to have it on screen and watch it while I hear the Spanish commentary because I think it would be funny.
Well, that would be funny, but don't forget, me and you have a GCW double feature tomorrow.
No, I know. What time is that, by the way?
We're probably going to start. I need to confirm how long the show was because the runtime says it was 3.5 hours for the show today. But I want to see how much of that feed is like the holding, the waiting, because we can bypass that shit.
This is a good point. Yeah.
Do they do intermissions?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
I feel like they have to, especially with Tournament of Survival. It's almost a given you would expect it to be that anyway.
But I'm thinking we'll probably start at either at 12:30 or 1 o'clock your time. So
all right.
10 a.m. my time.
Oh, awesome. So we'll be done by the night.
Yeah, because the Cage of Survival starts at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. So we need to be done with the first one so that we can then go into the second one.
Yep, makes sense. Cool.
But sorry for that deviation there, folks.
Oh shit! Oh, sorry, I'm watching UFC.
Damn, Walter.
He's enjoying UFC.
Yeah, Worlds Collide, I thought was a phenomenal show. I thought everybody showed up and showed out. To Walter's point, it was true lucha libre. Conan made sure he pointed that out on commentary. It was Conan and Corey Graves on commentary, which I thought was an awesome commentary team. Corey Graves doing the lead. Conan is the color analyst. For the first half of the show, I'll be honest, Conan didn't seem like he was happy to be there. But by the time it got to like the semi-main and the main event, he was more animated. He was coming out of his shell more. I don't know. I was kind of turned off by Conan's commentary in the beginning.
Conan's not a good commentator.
Like he really didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. That's like that anytime he's on commentary. Like the only time he wasn't was when he was managing somebody.
I feel like Rey Mysterio should have been on commentary. He looked like a proud papa when he opened that damn show, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he did.
So,
but
I think Conan was more animated and looked happier in the promo packages than on the commentary.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Right?
It's a shame.
Lost your head.
But I really enjoyed the opening 6-man tag, which was the LWO and Lince Dorado versus the other 3 I don't even remember who all was in it at this
Ooh,
point.
let's see.
Aerostar, Octagon Jr., and Mr. Iguana, I think, were those.
You got it correct. Well done.
I like
Mr. Iguana, though, had me fucking rolling because he has an iguana puppet that he wears, kind of like a Mr. Sacco, like a cobra. I was sitting here dead. I told Noah I want that iguana versus Mini Monet in a match.
I laughed so fucking hard. I almost pissed myself.
For real, if me and James can call a match with a fucking crash test dummy and an invisible man wrestling, I want to see a match with the little fucking iguana puppet and Mini Monet. Make it fucking happen, people. Please, goddamn.
If they could book a sex doll in other companies, they could book two puppets.
I agree. I agree.
Oh my god, that was funny. And then they freaking Ric Flaired it like.
Go ahead.
Moonsault.
They Ric Flaired it like you know how Ric Flair jumps and hits his own suits and stuff. They freaking did that to the puppet. I cried, man.
Dude, they gave the puppet a Spanish fly. A standing Spanish fly. I was dead. If that match does happen, Noah has to be on commentary, and then me and James or me and Walter make it a 3-man booth just so Noah can sit there trying to be the straight man while me and the other commentator are trying to break him.
And the other funny ass moment was Mr. Iguana used the puppet to pin to cover. I mean, he kicked out, but that shit was funny when he used it to cover it, and then he counted himself. That shit was funny.
Hey, we need Mr. Iguana versus Cappuccino Jones. Book it,
dude. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
I'm not getting you started. I'm getting him started.
Are you getting Walter started because he's the one with all the coffee puns?
Dude, you should have seen the puns I did tonight. The Puerto Rican thing.
Oh my god, it was funny.
But so Worlds Collide, I think, was a standout show. Definitely the highlight of the night for me. I will be curious to see if this becomes an annual tradition. If it does, I would almost move it to Mania weekend. You know, we usually get stand and deliver before night 1. I would do Worlds Collide before night 2. And make it all part of a huge weekend festivities.
Bro, I would replace the Hall of Fame. Let the Hall of Fame be like its own online thing and do that.
I actually agree about that, honestly.
I think the Hall of Fame should maybe be like Thursday night instead of doing it after SmackDown. You know, yeah, it'll compete with TNA Impact, or if they do, you know, the Sacrifice again like they did this past year on the Thursday night. But they can still, you know, do it 9 Pacific, midnight Eastern, so it doesn't compete as much with it. You know, or maybe just scrap Impact for the night and just do the pay-per-view at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, and then do the Hall of Fame after. That way, TNA talent can go to the Hall of Fame if they want, but you're also not competing with something that you're partnering with.
Nothing!
One of the best things World Collide did.
You knew that had to get in here, James. I told Noah that Ash fucked with you so hard during the Prestige Deadlock West Coast show.
I watched. I'm very proud of my Betsy friend.
Our Canadian friend, Ash.
Mm-hmm. By the way, she messaged that she should be joining.
I saw she'll be here when she gets off work.
Yeah. The thing that World Collide did, it did its job. It made me want to see more, and the fact that they advertised that Triple A Mania, I can't wait till August 16th. Now, I think that was the date. Yeah.
Definitely on the call for that.
And that's already been part of our watch along trailer, so we're gonna do it. We just have to figure out how they're going to be broadcasting it. Will it be on YouTube again? Will it be on Triller? Will it be through some other website or something that we've got to figure out? But I'm sure we will figure out some kind of way to make it happen.
I hope it's YouTube, because the best thing about it, there was no commercial. There was like one piece of a commercial. There wasn't even a full commercial during World Collide. Like, that's what I loved about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one thing I will say, it seems like everything WWE adjacent, so NXT, Evolve, AAA, TNA, is more interesting than the main roster. I am noticing a pattern here.
This is accurate.
Start to develop and shit. So
it's a good time to be a wrestling fan, as long as WWE doesn't continue to fuck up booking and doing like they've been doing or did tonight, where they book established stars to win the briefcases. I'm willing to forgive it this time, but if it keeps up, man, it's gonna be hard to keep me, because like I said, it's this shit that drove me away. Seeing the same people in the main event with the championships. I get you have to have your infrastructure, but that's the purpose of the briefcase. They have a year to cash it in. And Noah, I said it tonight, the only reason to give an established star the briefcase is if they're going to do a quick turnaround.
Yep.
So I would not be surprised to see the men's briefcase holder cash in on Raw, and the women's briefcase holder to cash in no later than SummerSlam.
Yeah,
but I think it'll be sooner than that, possibly at Evolution.
Well, considering the women have 100% success rate and the men has already dwindled down to 90 in the last few years, someone else has screwed the men's Money in the Bank briefcase. So, I mean, I think you're definitely on to some correct analysis there. If not, jumpstart even quicker.
The women's case has a history of doing quick ones, though. I mean, Carmella and Tiffany are the longest, too. Everybody else, like a lot of them, cashed in the same night they won it.
And others waited till literally SummerSlam. Case in point, Io Sky, who literally.
I was going to say they couldn't do a same night cash in because neither of the women's champions were fighting tonight.
Nope.
The only women's title that was defended was the Intercontinental title.
Tremendous match, and again, my favorite match of the night.
Agree. Well, no, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match was my match of the night.
It was all right. I'll give you that. It was all right. I think I like last year better.
Really? The women's Intercontinental title stole it?
The Devil's Kiss on the ladder.
Huh? Wait a minute,
Yes.
what?
The Devil's Kiss on the ladder.
Okay. Peacock?
Walter's like, fuck UFC. I'm going to go check that out right now.
Pikachu?
Hey, I don't think it's going to beat what happened at Worlds Collide, though.
Hey, listen, anytime I see Stephanie Vaquer or Lola Vice on my screen, I always want a Pikachu.
And somehow...
That was Worlds Collide. Money in the Bank was no Lola Vice, but Money in Worlds Collide, you got stereo Devil's Kisses.
Mm-hmm. And somehow that move is getting better without Booker T doing all that.
It's almost like he should not commentate.
No. This is one of the times I will defend Booker T. I've said this to Noah multiple times the last 2 days. Booker T has gotten Trick Williams and Stephanie Vaquer over like Rover.
Hell yeah.
If he has done nothing else on NXT commentary, he is almost solely responsible for getting those two as hugely over as they are. To the point that when Trick and Mello were still together, before they feuded and Trick came up to the main roster, the crowd in SmackDown was chanting, "Whoop that Trick." Stephanie, the main roster crowd on Raw Monday night, at Worlds Collide tonight, and at Money in the Bank all did the Booker T when she does the Devil's Kiss. I told Noah, I will say it again here, and this may be the last time I get to say it, so Noah, relax. But I do not want to hear another fucking podcaster talk about how main roster fans don't watch NXT. When you've got 17,000 doing Booker T's as she does the Devil's Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's 17,000 fuck yous to those podcasters.
Yeah.
To an extent, you could throw
I
Rosie
don't-
Perez and Roxanne Perez in there too. He helped get
Perez.
her over.
You've been watching too much Vince Russo, bro.
Yeah.
Rosie
Because
Perez.
Vince Russo calls her Rosie Perez.
I don't know where that came from, but Roxanne, he got her over too. Man, he does what he wants to. He can do.
Roxanne, he was going to get over because he helped train her. That's a
Yeah.
whole other story.
I will
But
say
he was not involved in training Trick or Stephanie, and he is solely responsible for getting them over as huge as they are.
I will say, I saw a clip. I scrolled through Twitter for like a second. I have
I'm sorry.
seen. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I appreciate it. I have seen the clip of Solo Sikoa being a funny bastard, where he was trying to emote to convince people not to hit him. That's the funniest shit, man. Solo's kind of coming into his own a little bit, you know. I kind of like this like comedic side to him,
Well,
man.
That was one of the highlights of the men's match, is we finally got Jacob Fatu saying those 4 words. I hate you, Solo.
Oh no.
And Jacob Fatu turning babyface in the men's match.
Yay.
Dog's unleashed now. He's off the chain. There's no putting him back on it.
So, since we're on it now, Money in the Bank, you know, Noah, we've already admitted it was the inferior show, but you said that there were things that you liked about it. What were your positive takeaways for Money in the Bank?
I thought both Money in the Bank ladder matches definitely showed a sense of brutality, reckless abandonment, risk, and destruction, and some unique moments. There's definitely a lot of interchange between Roxanne Perez and Julia that definitely foretells a lot in the future for me. I definitely want to see Julia versus Rhea Ripley one-on-one. And I think that Stephanie Valcour had some unique moments here that continues to raise her stock. But definitely the man, it was definitely a lot more of a human car wreck in more ways than one. That really impressed me with the risk and the spots and the agility shown. From the avalanche backdrop suplex to the fact that we knew both the fans would get involved, the Vision and the Bloodline, they did get involved, and all hell broke loose in LA. God bless it. LA is more of a friggin' car wreck of traffic than on the expressways tonight, Money in the Bank. And of course,
Let me ask you this, Noah. We saw the Bloodline get involved. We saw the Vision get involved. We kind of figured that was happening.
Yes.
Were you at all surprised that neither CM Punk or the OTC got involved? Because
No,
that's what I was waiting for. If you saw me like holding my headset,
did.
I was waiting to hear somebody's music when, you know, the inevitable winner was fingertips away from grabbing the briefcase.
Yeah. If anyone was going to get involved, I was going to figure it was going to be CM Punk or Sami Zayn. But again, we saw Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker destroy them on Monday Night Raw. I think they're selling that. And when it comes to Roman Reigns, the only time you see Roman is on the biggest stages. This guy.
Granted, but Money in the Bank is the big 5. It is now a big pay-per-view, and we are going into Saudi Arabia, and you know the Saudis are probably going to want him, and we're going into SummerSlam, so we need to start getting him back. We are less than 2 months from SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm
We
about
need
to
to
say
start getting him in there, not on a weekly basis, but at least on a every other week basis if we're going to start working him into storylines for SummerSlam.
they're going to send him for Saudi Arabia because that's bigger than Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is a fab farce on the Big 5. It's the Big 4. Again, the last time we saw Roman Reigns, the last time that he was like betrayed at this level, he came back at SummerSlam. So if you're going to book the man for SummerSlam versus booking him post, you're going to get him in Saudi Arabia, likely where he's going to have more pyro than ever. I see that happening at Night of Champions, as of course we have King and Queen of the Ring coming up. So I was not surprised to see Roman at all. I didn't think Roman was going to show up at all. But obviously, they're selling CM Punk and Sami Zayn were neutralized by the Vision. Hence, in point, they were not involved in the night's events at all. But Solo Sikoa finally being put in his place by Jacob Fatu. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting for this thing to finally implode from within. I did not think it was going to happen at Money in the Bank, but I'm glad it did. And again, everybody took all the risks possible when it came to reckless abandonment off the damn ladders and some ridiculous avalanche moves. So I gotta give the man credit. I thought the man definitely pulled more out here tonight, and it might be more so due to the fact that more men were experienced versus the women in the earlier match. But kudos to what the women brought. But yeah, I still give my favorite match, of course, keyword match, to Becky Lynch and Valkyria. I love how much they pushed each other in the ring. It was an extremely hard-fought contest, and as far as the result, well, I think no Bailey at all showed up tonight. So put that in perspective. But overall, my event has a good moments. That main event, I mean, But either way, Worlds Collide was definitely the more tremendous show. And yeah, Walter and Dominguez, I expect you to do some sort of knowledge search up. I mean, I knew about Dallas and studying about Kevin before Worlds Collide was even a thing. So it was nice to see that revisited during that women's tag match. And I must admit, I have not been that familiar with Iguana Jr., but I was extremely impressed by him in the opening match. I gotta give you that, JJ. The fair four-way for the North American Championship was absolutely a tremendous contest. All four brought it, and kudos to Ethan Page neutralizing the entire field and finding a way to win when he was the one guy odd out when it came to the style. But nothing today is going to outshine what I saw with Chad Gable and Akiko Del Vikingo. Phenomenal AAA Mega Championship match. And again, why Chad Gable is not in a championship picture right now is a damn effing crime and further proves my point about TKO's level of booking stupidity. Either way, it's still a fun day from WWE, but Worlds Collide was the better show.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you that the women stole the show at Money in the Bank. Becky and Lyra would be my second match of the night because they, you know, to your point, they continue to push each other. Becky brings the best out of Lyra.
Vice versa.
You know, they have a chemistry in the ring, and I don't use this comparison lightly, but it's very much a Sean Brett chemistry.
I can definitely see
You know,
that.
without the real life tension that surrounded them in 96, 97.
Right.
You know, because we know that outside of the ring, they really do love and admire each other. But they have that Sean Brett chemistry where anytime they touch, it's just fucking gold. They manage to bring the best out of each other. But for me, women's Money in the Bank match of the night for Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that's close for me. I still give the edge to Lyra and Becky, but I see your point.
The men got outshined on every level because the women's IC title match was better than the men's IC title match.
Spades.
However, I don't fault either man for that because it was a last-minute booking decision.
Agree.
They probably didn't have a whole lot of time to really go over things, maybe practice a couple spots. It was a last-minute addition.
I'll give you that.
I'm willing to write that off as a tax credit, you know. But the main event and the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, very lackluster feel for me.
Yeah, you almost feel it's a clusterfuck with the fact that, again, you had the whole bloodline and the freaking Vision paraphernalia outshouting that. And then Jigga Fatu, he was the star of that entire match and wasn't even involved in the damn thing as a participant.
Seriously.
Legit. Y'all know what I mean?
The Iguana puppet is like my highlight of the entire day.
I know, JJ. You freaking had me rolling while I was trying to be straight-faced. You nearly broke me.
Mr. Iguana for the win, baby. I saw those clips too. Good shit overall. Good weekend.
I want to see the rest of his matches. I hope he's done that in every match, just because now we're gonna start looking him up.
I mean, Mr. Iguana is one of the more heavily known veterans of AAA. So, yeah, he's done that for quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
And you probably could find some stuff about him literally on YouTube, if not
Yeah,
out of
I was
old
gonna say-
Triple-Mania shows.
The Iguana puppet has a name. I forgot what it was, but
Yes.
Conan said it on commentary. So the fact that it has a name shows you that it's something that's been used for a bit.
Yeah, it's the Ernest or something like that. So it's a unique Spanish name. But yeah, that match was nothing but ridiculous. And freaking awesome. And yeah, Worlds Collide blew my in the bank out of the water for me. Akira Kingo versus Chad Gable, match of the day. Women's match of the day, just outshining the ladder match for me based on reasons. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria.
Fair enough. Now, you guys have seen the way that we kind of danced around certain things for Money in the Bank. If you can do that for House of Glory, go ahead, talk a little bit about the Puerto Rican Weekend Show, as we would love to hear about it without you guys giving away all the winners. So,
maybe that got spoiled, I guess, kind of. Everything else, they had a 6 scramble that was pretty fun. A bunch of new names that we were kind of thrusted upon us, and we had to learn them on the fly.
They didn't even mention that. That shit just opened, and we were like, "What the hell is this? This wasn't mentioned before or anything."
Like the usual battle royale nonsense. But anyway, continue.
I think my personal match.
You, James, have done quite a bit of House of Glory, and they're known for that shit.
Yeah, that's true. So, new faces there. They overall, all the matches were really good, but I think the match of the night for me personally was the Latinas Most Wanted versus Main Event tag match, because I'm more impressed every time I see the main event. Like, fan-friendly act, gets the crowd involved. There's a lot of good gimmicks that they got going on there. It's an overact. I feel like you could actually put that on main TV and it would get over. Overall, fucking Jay Lion impresses me with the shit he can do.
Bro, a big man should not move like that. That shit is crazy.
No, like, he moves like Bam Bam Bigelow did back in the day. Like, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, he's very athletic. I think I would even dare to say he's more athletic than Bam Bam, although we did not see what Bam Bam did. We didn't see, I'm not convinced we saw all of Bam Bam's potential, because, back then it's like, you're a worker, brother. It wasn't about work right back then.
I don't think he ever jumped through hoops, but yeah.
No, nothing will ever be as great as him jumping through hoops. Main event was great.
Before you continue, James.
Yeah, I was going to say really quick, James, before you continue, let's welcome into the room our Canadian friend, Ash.
She's yours, she's mine, she's our Canadian friend, Ash.
Hello.
Hello, Ash.
Bienvenue.
What happened, Walter?
Bienvenue. Welcome in French.
There you go. So yeah, I liked main event. They were really good. Latino Most Wanted. You could tell they were so inspired by Harris and Storm. It's not even funny. Like, the whole presentation is very much similar to the America's Most Wanted. It's nice. Latino. It's very nice. I like that shout. They were big time heels. I was shocked to see Dan Maff. I thought he was canceled. Apparently, he has exonerated himself, because I looked up the reason he was canceled at the time, because he was part of the Speaking Out movement. Apparently, I literally looked up, it all got erased. So I found out that whatever happened apparently did not happen, and he exonerated himself and cleared himself. Everybody had to retract their shit.
Okay.
So, yeah, Dan Maff came back.
Also, Rivera proved that all she needs is an opportunity. She looked good wrestling today. It seemed like WWE just wouldn't. She's gonna have the Ash by Elegance effect, where she gets another company, gets an opportunity, and she can actually prove herself.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, because there were 3 matches that I was really intrigued about for this show, and the first one we'll go ahead and talk about, since you just mentioned it. But Carissa Rivera, the former Elektra Lopez, versus the virtuose Diana Purrazzo. Long may she fucking reign.
Damn it.
Talk to me a little bit about that one.
It was a good match, back and forth, and like I said, she showed that all she needs is the opportunity. She can do more than just be eye candy for Legado de Fantasma, and
Although
it's like
she was very much eye candy as well.
yeah, I mean, she was. I mean, there's no doubt she's pretty, but it was more about the skills she showed.
She was very,
and,
yeah. She showed that she's been learning some shit while she was in the PC. That's
and Donna, yeah, and Diana, the Virtuosa proved that AEW should have done a lot more with her, or should be doing a lot more.
Yeah, I was going to say she is still contracted there, so
Yeah.
she's been released.
Yeah. Well, again, she went home because she got tired of losing. She wants to be in the championship picture. And the problem with this wrestling business, Natalia included, women with a technical background. Hello, Shayna Baszler and Serena Deeb. They are not booked enough with respect regarding their styles because it doesn't fit mainstream TV worthwhileness, apparently.
Well, we talked about that before. JJ and all of us, we went at length. It's because it's the aesthetics. It's the eye test. Like, it's sorry to say, but I mean, that's how it is in wrestling. We don't personally feel like that, but you know, the higher ups are going to feel like that.
Yeah. Weak-minded, desensitized, over-glorified, monopoly, suit-wearing conjugalites, and people that can't read at 6th grade level influenced by Booker T shenanigans sometimes. Continue.
The next match I was really curious about was the Infamous versus Amazing Red.
Oh,
very good. It was very gimmicky.
What
the thing that sucks though, and the highlights show that Infamous could wrestle a cruiserweight style if he really wanted to, and I don't think this will be the last time they fight against each other because they very much left it open ended because there was spoiler alert, dirty finish, valet interfering. But like, I think we're gonna get another match. I almost bet it's going to happen, but it was just very honestly, if I'm being honest, Walter, I think you could co-sign on it.
The match was okay, but what made it fun and okay, and you can kind of give it a pass, is the freaking crowd. This crowd was hot as hell.
Yes, dude.
Like, this crowd cheered for every little thing. They made every match feel way more important than what it was, and the fact that they kept going through the crowd, like there's a lot of crowd involvement in this match. So
take Backlash Puerto Rico and like shrink it down like 10 notches. That's basically what it was. Yeah, like it was very good environment. Like flags waving everywhere the whole time. It was a really cool environment. Crowd made the whole night, honestly. There was, I feel like we're forgetting one match, Walter.
The other match that I really wanted to know about is the match that I'm sure Noah would probably be the most interested in. Mike Santana defending the title against the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah.
Hold on, Ishii was on the show?
Yes,
yep.
It was.
My boy.
Yeah, what?
Chop.
We got Ash interested now.
Listen,
I like Tomohiro. Like, he's so
dude,
cool.
my chest hurts. My chest hurts just watching them. These two were chopping the shit out of each other. They were going at it, and James mentioned it. You know, in Japanese wrestling, you gotta earn respect and earn it. I think Ishii respects the hell out of Mike Santana now because they tried to shake hands at the beginning. And Ishii just went like this, and it's because you gotta earn it with him. I think by the end of that match, he fucking earned it.
Yeah, for sure. I really like the match. Crazy finish. That's all I'll say there. There's a really good match between WWE ID prospect Marcus Mathers and DJ. Our DJ.
Oh my god. Yo, he looks just like DJ in a mask, dude. I pointed that out, and now James cannot unsee it.
Dude, I couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, the minute Walter pointed it out, I'm like, I can't unsee it now. I can't unsee it. Like, he like, so it's Mighty Manta. For those who don't know, it's Mighty Manta. He looks like, or Mighty Monte. He looks like a full-on, like, spitting image of DJ if he had a mask on. And so I live on the air, I go on to his watch-along space, and I tell DJ, hey, yo, I didn't know you could clone yourself. I'm seeing you right now on the show.
I was wondering what that comment was about. I'm like, huh, am I missing something?
Oh, dude,
what?
I was like, you didn't tell us you wrestle on the weekends.
Yeah. You didn't tell us you wrestled on the
In
weekend.
the New York area, you know?
It was fantastic. I mean, it made sense. That's why I was like, oh shit, DJ's actually at the show.
That's what made it even funnier because he actually is from New York.
So yeah,
Right, yeah.
But all joking aside, Mighty Monte and Marcus Mathers had a damn good match, very good brawl. Honestly, it was better than the Amazing Red match. Honestly, work rate wise. Believe it or not, worst match of the night, unfortunately, and it's nothing. I think it's just because one of them hadn't been wrestling in months. Dan Maff taking on the one called Manders, and there was no title change. But Dan Maff won.
Hey, don't spoil.
Sorry, politics, brother. There was no title. I feel like that's cool to spoil because there was no title on the line, and I'm mad. I wanted my title match.
You know what kind of
big
let the
mad
air
about
out of? You know what let the air out of the room too? I think that intermission kind of like that's
dude.
what because
Oh
it was
my
like
God.
they let us calm down too much. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, dude, the intermission timing is it's still. And we joked, it's like, did Mercedes politic again? Did she try to get Jason Solomon out next?
God.
I was going to say, was JD on commentary or no?
No, I'm at this point, I am convinced in saying JD from New York was fired. I think it's just
wait for that Monet crap.
Yep, yeah, he's fired. He has not shown up since that. I think it's kind of shitty, but
yeah, because you can
play poly.
You can say what you want about JD. You can like him. You can not like him, but he had been with that company as a commentator for a minute.
He'd been there for years.
For her to come in there and politic him out of there, that's not cool.
No.
Mm.
How
do you politic in a company you don't even fucking work for?
Dude,
that's what I'm wondering
saying.
about.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Look,
to James's point, he has not been on commentary since he was pulled for that Mercedes match.
Yeah, he's
going. There's a little bit more going on there than meets the eye.
Well,
yeah.
None of our business though, but yeah.
So all I'll say is this, okay? I think that it's a fucking mistake. I don't care I don't care if Mercedes gets butthurt about it. She should have learned to be a professional and deal with it. That guy was there for all their fucking starts. Private Party, fucking dude. There was a guy who died there, and JD gave like the most heartfelt eulogy I've ever seen anybody give for that person. And they worked for Hog. And you're telling me all the things good that JD did gets outweighed because of fucking shit he says on a goddamn podcast. I mean, come on, give me a break.
Yeah. Which is his own
platform. Ridiculous. Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous. That'd be like if you have the opportunity to fucking and you know what? It's funny because AEW would probably do this too. It's like having the opportunity to get Eric Bischoff as your marketing sales manager because we know how fucking great he is at getting those crossover deals, and then not taking it because he talks shit about your company on a podcast. Like it's the same principle. It's fucking stupid either way you look at it.
Yeah,
I feel like it would be one thing if it was on an official House of Glory podcast, but for it to be on his own podcast, his own channel, that's another thing. But that's not what we're here to discuss. Ash, I know you did have to work. Were you able to watch any of the shows today? Did you see any of Worlds Collide or Money in the Bank before you had to clock in?
Let's just say the only spot I saw during my break was the double Devil's Kiss spot, and that was it.
Ash!
Of all things.
Of all fucking things.
What do you expect? Stephanie Vaquer's hot as hell.
There we go. I was gonna say, did you enjoy
Lola
it?
Vice isn't any slouch either, okay?
No, she's something as well. She's
something.
She can kick your ass and look pretty doing so. I will give her that, and I would not want to run in a back alley against her. But if she's on my side, then yes.
Well, I was about to say if she could whip your ass and do that the Devil's Kiss, if both of them could do the Devil's Kiss in a dark alley, that's pleasure and pain. Does that mean it's BDSM?
Yes.
Only if you're into that, yes.
All right, there you go.
Walter, you've been threatened.
Oh no! Oh, no.
Don't tease me with a good time. Shit.
Wait a minute.
Oh, God,
We're going to lose Noah here for a second. Lee, you just offered on the air to put Walter's face between your legs. I'm just saying.
You okay, Noah? Noah, come back!
No! No! Oh my God!
I'm sorry.
It's not time yet, Noah.
He's going to bed. He's going to bed.
That actually looks cool with the lights off.
Dude, oh my God, it's the timer.
Man, it sounds like
He's
I missed
still
a really
there.
good show. It sounds like I missed a really good show. And Amazing Red was on that show. I haven't seen that dude in a while. How's he doing?
He's very good. He's still as fast as fucking ever too.
Oh, I hope so. My God, he was one of my favorites when I was watching TNA in the X Division.
Yep. Go ahead.
Amazing Red is the head trainer booker for Glory.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
And he's the one that you can blame for Mercedes Moné Sasha Banks because he trained her.
Did he?
I mean,
Oh,
yes.
I mean, say what you will about Mercedes and her politics. She's a good wrestler. She's fun.
No,
to
she
watch
is.
as a wrestler.
And she's been more impressive since going to AEW. It's just belt collecting, that's all.
And politicking, brother, dude, Jack, brother. Trust me, Safed, I'm already on it. I
was about to say, how many outlandish stuff have I said? Have you clipped already?
None yet. Do me a favor, Safed. Stop telling me to clip things. Let me get through the last year's highlight reel first, and then we'll talk about clipping for this year, okay? I had a lot of shit to fucking catch up on in case you hadn't noticed.
Same. It looks like I missed a good show. I was like, damn, why do I always be working on these good pay-per-views? God damn.
Yeah, exactly. You know, well, the YouTube show is free, so you can go be.
Yeah.
Noah, come back.
This is what happens when you're too reliable at your workplace.
So Lily, he can't see you. I mean, unless he's on his phone. For all we know, he might be on his phone. Can he? I don't see him. He's in the dark.
See John Cena all of a sudden?
I can see movement still there.
Wait. So
Look,
he never left the room?
No, you can see the chair
he's
moving.
Still there. He's with us. He is fucking with us, and here's how we're gonna get him back. Okay.
Can't see.
And now for a taste of things to come.
Noah, you're safe.
Noah, where did you go? It's just the timer. I told you he's not there. I don't see.
He's there. The chair's moving. I know something that'll make him happy. Show that graphic I added.
Oh yeah, the fucking. Let's see. All
No,
in.
not you. Stop touching stuff. That's JJ's room. That's why I didn't touch it.
Okay.
Let our producer produce. Look, Noah.
I don't think he's there, guys. I don't know what the fuck you're seeing. I see nothing but darkness and a void.
I see the chair moving back and forth near the clock.
It's a fucking mouse. It's blinking, Walter.
Noah, Okada's on the screen versus Omega. Come on now.
Bro, there's nothing. It's literally a timer. We'll get him back eventually. Just move on. Fucking funny as hell. Oh. There we go. We tried. All right, so what's up next?
I didn't pull him out. I didn't pull it out. Who did? Walter just said, "Let the producer produce."
I just did because I was the one that clicked it. So I was like, well, I'll unclick it since that was my job to I did that, so I undid it.
I really want Noah to be here because the next part of the conversation is shit that happened at Against All Odds.
God damn it.
At Against All Odds.
He probably is using the bathroom, to be fair. Hold on. Let me.
So I just messaged him saying I'm sorry.
Wasn't your fault. Well, actually, I guess it technically.
Yeah, it was. I freaking started this bullshit.
You started the nonsense. Okay, no, we need you for next topic. LOL. Fucking.
This week has been a week of returns and debuts.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
You know, first on my NXT, Walter's NXT, was the debut of Mariah May.
Mariah May.
Probably Julia June soon.
Julia June.
Or Mariah March.
Julia June.
Oh yeah, that's another one, Mariah March.
Yeah,
Or
Mariah
just
March.
simply Mariah.
Simply.
Just back to the one names.
It's like Ash by Elegance, simply Mariah.
Stephanie September.
Right.
September.
Nancy November.
Donna December.
Firework July.
Augustine August.
Augustine August.
April August.
Spooky October.
Okay, come on.
Doesn't
Really
have
try
the
it
double
there.
O thing going, James.
Oh, okay.
Letter.
Come on, man.
Oogly
Olivia
October.
Oogly.
Oogly October.
There's freaking
Olivia.
Olivia. Like, come on, man.
Olivia.
Olivia was right there, James.
I like Aluga more. I like Auga more.
So,
I
but
believe
anyway,
you.
so we had Mariah May's debut on NXT to a thunderous applause. And then yesterday on Against All Odds, we had the returns of Killer Kelly. And the Knockouts division got a little bit more iconic, inspirational.
Oh, yeah, Noah needs to be here because I know those are his girls. Noah, where the fuck are you? They're your girls.
The only
Noah, come on.
legitimate women's tag team in professional wrestling.
Yes. True this.
Should be inspired.
That after they lost the women's tag titles for WWE, the tag team division went to shit, and the belts haven't been the same ever since.
Yeah.
Right?
This is true. Bro, he is like legit gone. What the fuck is this?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I guess I'll go first. That will do it.
I feel so
And then
bad.
tonight on Money in the Bank, you know, this is a little spoiler I will give away, but
Yeah.
Cena and Logan Paul lost thanks to the return of Ron Killings.
That truth.
Wait.
No,
He came
not
as
our
Ron
truth.
Killing?
Not our truth. Ron Killings.
Yes, the truth killings, baby. Yeah.
No
NWA
truth.
version?
Just Ron Killings. He's just
Nice.
using Ron Killings now.
Oh, okay.
I was sent a thing from Arlene, and I will bring it over to the other screen here so I can show to y'all and share screen. Give me uno momento, pour flavor as I bring it in.
Well, that's one way to kill the comedy and make him serious. Maybe he can get an actual title reign.
I mean, this dude used to be a former NWA World Champion when he was serious once upon a time.
Ron
What is
Killings
that?
is here. Head to WWE Shop and get your gear now.
Oh, nice.
I know my newest shirt. That's awesome.
You know, so it makes me wonder, you know, one, were we worked all along?
I think so.
Or did they release our truth so that they could bring him back as a more serious character in Ron Killings?
That's a good question. Or did they? Because if they did,
it's still gone.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Did they actually listen to the fans? Did they release him and then regret it because of the fans' reaction?
Man, that was probably the best thing on SmackDown for you to go back and watch, Walter, was the segment with John Cena, because the fans were chanting, "We want truth," and he was like, "You can't handle the truth."
I saw that on YouTube.
He went off on a whole diatribe, and I was like, whoa. All of us that were saying that John Cena should lead into the fact that he got truth fired in order to kill wrestling, it very much seemed like that was where he was going with that promo.
A little bit.
Darren, I'm not going to repeat why the Simple Man is in the dark, because we're trying to bring him back into the light.
Yes.
Speaking about Mariah May, Killer Kelly, and the Iconics.
Yes.
So we are trying to bring him back to the light.
We're trying to inspire him.
Yes.
We're trying to inspire him.
I know you're sitting there laughing your ass off at us.
Noah, get back on, bro. This is your topic.
I know you want to talk about the Iconics, the inspiration, the return of Killer Kelly. Come on, bro.
Noah, just remember, you can get your revenge and kick her ass on Wheel of Fortune. Come on.
This is true. This is true.
Oh, you guys are playing Wheel of Fortune?
I didn't know.
Well, he's got to challenge my wife. And Julia Pena just tapped the fuck out. Wow. And
There
you
you
want to
go.
refight Amanda? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I
Go
will
ahead.
say that I am happy to see Mariah in NXT.
Me too.
I don't think she's going to be there long. You know, it's like the old saying, she's not here for a long time, she's here for a good time.
Yes.
She's going to be there for a brief stopover before going up to the main roster. Just like Stephanie, just like Julia, just like Jordan. She's already pretty much TV ready, as she's been on AEW television for the last 18 months, almost 2 years. So the hardest thing she's going to have to adapt to, and this is me being sarcastic but funny at the same time, is realizing that there's fans on the hard camp side.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew as soon as you said that. I knew you were
Be the
going
hardest thing to adjust to for her.
Just grabbing the low hanging fruit.
There. Stop me when I'm telling lies, though, Ash.
If
I mean, none detected, but still, I mean, it's the principle of just because you can say it doesn't mean you should, but at the same time, haha, funnies.
If there's
I
any
wouldn't
indication,
be if I didn't point out the obvious and speak the truths.
that's
No,
true.
not at all.
But
No.
if they had any doubt, it should all be erased. The indication of just a pop, the sheer pop she got, can say like, "Oh shit, we got something." Because when those lights went out and that she popped up, that crowd went nuts. That crowd sounded like more like 30,000. instead of how many there actually were. Like that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
True that.
Dude, I gotta say, the last like 3-4 weeks of NXT, man, has been like you can't miss kind of TV. Like holy shit, Datilla.
Hey, I know she's watched the last couple of weeks, you know, whether she wanted to or not because of the big shit that's happened. So, you know, maybe we'll rope her in here eventually yet. Yeah, I still haven't seen NXT from this past week because I worked Tuesday and then I've been trying to get caught up on everything else. I got called into work Wednesday. You know, Thursday was just kind of a rest and recuperate day, and then Friday I came here. So I haven't even watched last week's show yet. And I work again this coming Tuesday, so
Jesus.
there's no thing as too much wrestling, Lee, and if there was, then it's called WrestleMania week. But you know what? We all survived it, and we're all looking to do it again next year.
True this. 100%.
The hardest part, though, is if me, Noah, and Walter are all there, James is going to have to be holding shit down on his own.
Right?
Oh God.
Can't be engulfed in doing any projects.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll have to. Well, even if I am, I'll have to make myself free that day.
That week? What are you talking about? That day?
Why?
Do you know how long that week is? Because you got to do the Raw, the NXT, the SmackDown. God knows what AEW books that same week.
Oh God,
House of Glory,
the independent shows like
probably UFC too.
And some of those we may actually be at. You know, WrestleMania I may not be able to go to because it's just so heavily priced. So I may be able to hang out wherever our room is and do that commentary with you. But I'm looking to go to a lot of the peripheral shit if I go next year.
Bro, and you know Triple I is probably going to book something now that they're part of WWE.
Right.
Yep. TNA. You know, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, TNA, AAA, Evolve.
There'll be a shit ton of GCW stuff.
Yeah, GCW is going to be like definitely fucking.
Oh yeah,
In case you're wondering what we're talking about, Ash, it was made official tonight.
Oh, nice.
Well. Oh, it's black and white. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, that's just an early thing for it. I'm sure they'll come up with something brighter later, but that was the graphic they threw up, and they said that they're doubling down this year, making a nice blackjack reference there. So,
double or nothing.
And just think, by the time we get there, Ron Killings might have actually had a title reign.
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be pretty sweet, actually. I'll just hope if they do give him it, hopefully they book him well. That's another thing. It's one thing to win the title, but the booking after winning the title is a whole different story.
I mean, booking alone just to stop John Cena from ruining wrestling. Can you imagine?
Yeah, true.
Or like Ron Killings dethrones John Cena.
right? Like, what if that is the game plan now?
That's what I'm saying.
They course corrected and everything. Have Ron Killings be the one to beat John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
And save professional wrestling.
That'd be crazy. And that's the truth.
I like it.
Puns. Ooh. Well, I tried to call him. I don't know where the hell he is. So.
Yeah, I sent him 2 messages because I feel real bad now.
He's probably doing some church thing.
He would be at the computer if he was doing some church thing, Walter. I don't know what.
Bullwave, I'm going to address you very quickly because I did delete your other comment, and I did it because James and I are going to do a watch along of TOS tomorrow, even though it happened today because of all the other shit that was on today.
Yes.
I just want you giving away spoilers, bro.
Yeah,
That's why I deleted your other comment.
Who's Bullwave?
Bullwave is Hammers. He's my guy. He's my guy.
Okay, well he posted spoilers for TOS, so I deleted the comment.
Yeah, don't post spoilers, bro. We're gonna be covering that tomorrow because we're gonna be covering that along with Cage of Survival.
Yeah.
And yes, Charles, you did. You missed something crazy. We're not gonna get into it again. I don't know. At this point, we're at his mercy, I guess. Which
I don't know. That'd be a real swerve, though, by WWE if they did something like that.
True, right?
Well, I mean, like, okay. Ron Killings is 53 years old. He doesn't have too many years left of active competition. And he's never been a WWE World Champion. Even if he only holds it from Cena's last match till Mania. Good little 4-month run with it. That's solid. Shit, like, I don't think anybody would be upset with that.
Hell no.
Nice little glory run. And I mean, if, and that's a strong if, but if Money in the Bank is still in play then, cash it in as soon as R-Truth Ron takes the title, at least he goes in the history book as having held the title, if even for a couple of minutes.
Yep.
But I don't think that the winner is going to hold the briefcase that long. So it's all good, Bullwave.
Yeah, you're fine. Don't worry about Hammers.
Probably because he's trying to call Noah again.
Yep.
I know you too well.
Yes.
So I can't
get a hold of him. So.
Watch this week. What are your thoughts of the debut of Mariah May, the return of Killer Kelly, and the Iconics?
You're asking me, or
I threw it out there to everybody there, James. I know Walter watched NXT and Against All Odds because he did commentary with Noah.
Nice.
I'll throw to him first, and then anybody else can comment that wants to.
Okay.
Could you let Noah know I'm sorry? I feel really bad.
My wife is saying sorry too. But
I'm going to try and call him myself. We'll see what happens.
Okay, because I feel really bad.
The pop alone was excellent, and I noticed that they didn't say her name. They just used her nickname. So at least she gets to keep her nickname. But we'll see what happens. I do like the segment, like how every woman came out for the contender and then she showed up. I do feel like I hope they don't hotshot her to the title and bypass people who deserve it. Like, I feel like Lola deserves a run with the North American Women's Championship. And I really think Jada Parker deserves an NXT title reign before it's all said and done. Like, she's been doing some shit to prove herself, especially since she has separated herself from that group. Because look what the group is doing and look what she's doing. So I just feel like she deserves a run. But so I mean, I understand Mariah will end up being the flavor of the month. I just hope they don't bypass everybody they already got just to hotshot her. But we will see. I'm so glad that she's there, and it was shocking because there was no rumor. The way they kept it under wraps, there was no, hey, we signed it. There was no leaking. There was no nothing. And if rumors are to be believed, they didn't even tell the talent until they arrived in the arena that day, so that nothing can leak out, which is so smart to do now. I'm glad they were able to do that. And in terms of Against All Odds, fucking Masha Slamovich, man, that match. And then Killer came after that. So her own past might come back to bite her, and that's I think that's the only person that can match Masha, like for real. She's been so dominant, and the fact that Killer has returned in all red. I mean, you got to see Noah's face. I wish he would come on, but Noah's reaction to that was freaking priceless. It's something you're gonna end up clipping, but I love it. So I mean,
Yeah,
against TNA, NXT. You know what? Damn it, the wrestling industry. Because even the last few Dynamites and pay-per-views, the wrestling has legit been on fire lately, and I'm here for it.
I am too. I love it. I'm enjoying it very, very good. I actually, I do like that they're bringing back the inspiration. I like that Mariah May went to NXT. Killer Kelly is like a no-brainer. I like that, the women. I like that it was all women-centric, because usually, like, it's a big return. There's only, like, usually one. There was, like, 4 different returns and debuts all at once. So I thought that was pretty cool. I saw Mariah May looked like she was happier than a pig and shit. Saw the fucking Discord online. It's like, that she took a pay cut, and then other people is like, oh, now she goes to the big leagues. I'm like, fuck off. Just let her be fucking happy and stop being tribalistic, you fucking morons. God damn. It's not that fucking deep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Arlene. Alrighty. That's my
But
thought.
it wasn't our truth.
It wasn't our truth. It was Ron Killings. Our truth died. He's no longer with us. May he rest in peace. Rest in pepperonis.
I can't. Now I gotta watch. Y'all made me want to watch that now.
Which one?
Money in the Bank. Well, after they mentioned, what took Noah off the screen on the ladder, and then now that whole thing they just mentioned. I'm gonna end up watching this now. It's gonna be a long night.
Mm-hmm. Well, where is he? Because this is kind of getting ridiculous now.
He probably legit fell asleep.
I'm getting some response from him.
Okay, so you did get a text from him? Oh, he's texting you right now? Like the speech bubble thingy? Okay.
Uh-huh.
I see. Okay.
The Knockouts division is looking pretty stacked now. We got another feud for Masha and another tag team for the Knockouts tag team. What more can you ask for? That's really good. I like that.
Yes, I agree. I think that's really good, especially considering Knockouts have always kind of prided themselves on the X division and the Knockouts division. So good to kind of bolster those divisions up as much as you can.
Oh, think about the crossover.
Especially with recent.
Well, think about the crossovers, but yes.
JJ. No, go ahead. I think there was a reverb. That's why I stopped talking so that he could say what he was saying.
Go ahead, JJ.
I was saying, especially with the recent disbanding of Spitfire, you need a new Knockouts tag team in there. And with Killer Kelly back, you can put her back with Rosemary, or you can put her with Masha.
Yeah.
And there's another team as well for once Masha loses the title.
And the fact that NXT doesn't have a tag team titles, if you start incorporating TNA over there and crossing over, and Inspiration can find their way back, jumping ship, and showing what they become and showing how much better they become since they left the company. Imagine if they had the Knockouts titles and went over to NXT just to show it off and defended a few times. That would be freaking awesome. We need to hurry up and get the title off the Elegance. Let's go. I'm inspired, damn it.
Wait, is Ash by Elegance? Oh, there he is. Is Ash by Elegance fucking still doing her thing with that? I didn't even know she was a champion.
Ash and Heather are the Knockouts tag champs.
That makes sense.
The Elegance are an entire faction now, but let's not even talk about that because Noah will have a heart attack because he hates them.
It's true. This is fair.
So Noah, welcome back. We're talking about the debuts and returns of this week. Mariah May showing up on NXT, named TBD, and then the returns yesterday of the Inspiration. And your thoughts on all that?
There's definitely an influx of talent needed in that knockouts division since they lost a lot of their biggest players to the E. But I'm very happy to see Inspiration back. Like I said, last legitimate women's tag team in professional wrestling. Bite me, you think otherwise. So I'm looking very forward to seeing them hopefully seize those titles and maybe once again rescind this division. By the way, watch what y'all fucking do next time. I have no problem sending you to purgatory permanently. Now, back to this. I will say this. I'm very happy that the Inspiration are back. Cassidy, Justin McKay are two people I've been following for the longest time in their careers since Black and Gold NXT. And Killer Kelly, I mean, MK Ultra, they were the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, and their fallout, of course, with Spitfire. I was wondering which ways they were going to go before, as many women have done in this business, go off and pursue the best thing they could be, and that is a mother to a family. So to Ty Mello, to Killer Kelly, to Cassidy, Justin McKay, more power to them, but it's happy to see they're in a better place now from a family standpoint and a physical standpoint to get back to what they love, and that's professional wrestling. Macho Slammers and Killer Kill has always been that very unique dynamic of enjoyable violence brought out against each other. I mean, again, they were a dog collar match bound by circumstance that brought the team together in the first place. Now Killer Kelly is off the chain as she dropped that in front of Macho. I am so ready for this Knockouts World Championship picture. Mariah May, fulfilling a dream that she had since that trial in the UK, now part of WNXT. I'm glad the NXT universe recognized the talent that is the Glamour. So I'm hoping that, again, she probably could reset the women's division of NXT because Jessie Jane still is a WTF to me. And, of course, Tymello back at Fighter Fest and Anna Jay, Ty J fighting Megan Bay and Penelope Ford. It feels like right now the only company with the women's tag team division is freaking AEW, and I love it. So overall, I'm extremely happy with all these returns and influxes of positive changes to women's wrestling divisions across the biggest companies in the landscape. Not to mention what I saw with Pro Wrestling Eve, now that Mrs. Bruv, Alex Windsor, is all elite after her match with Suri. So it's a wonderful time to look at the progression of women's professional wrestling across the landscape. Ben Ash, I forgive you, but now you, Lily, know what happens when you push me over the edge. Don't do it again.
Noah, let's say you got the pen. Oh, go ahead.
To Noah's point, it's interesting that the one company that has a division is the company that doesn't have tag titles.
Right? That's what I was saying. That's why I think you need to involve TNA with that.
I mean, to be fair, they broke up their last team. So, again, TNA having a women's tag team division, I think that ship set sail. But, again, with Myla Grace and Harley Hudson, there's potential. They have a good influx of talent there. What happens if Lei Ling Lee and Zaya Brookside, they continue to be together as a tag team? So that leaves 4 teams now with the Inspiration back. Of course, the Inspiration is the most important of all 4 of those. So, we'll see. But at this point, yeah, WTNA, have you ever made women's tag team wrestling matter since the Inspiration or MK Ultra? Answer, no.
No. If you had the pen, and actually all you can answer that, Noah, but do you immediately, when you book Killer Kelly against Masha, you make a rivalry out of it again, like milk it for 2-3 matches, or does Killer immediately take that title off of her? Let's say you had the pen, or do you just milk it until you get to Slammiversary? Because that's got to wait till Slammiversary. There's no way you put it on anything else earlier.
Yeah, that's got to be a Slammiversary match for me. I've seen so many Killer Kelly and Macho Slam's one-on-one matches. They're unique chemistry and connection for violence and pulling up physical punishment on each other, whether it's the independent side, whether it's Prestige, West Coast, whether it's insert company name here. You can look at the history of Macho Slammers and Killer Kelly as a tag team and as rivals and as opponents and competitors. That right there is a Knockouts World Championship match worthy of Slammiversary. And honestly, we asked the question during our watch along, who you get against Masha? Got our answer. Red. So yeah, that better be at Slammiversary. Internet.
I think so. Yeah. What the fuck?
Anyone else can answer it? Do you milk it, or you just give Killer Kelly the title immediately in the first match?
Ash, you're fine, by the way. Why don't you go ahead and answer this question next? Killer Kelly, Macho Slamovich. What do you do next with them?
It depends. Like, do they have how? Because I don't follow TNA, so how dominant was Masha? Does she have opponents other than Kelly, or is that the Killer Kelly, or is that the final one?
Masha has literally been in defending that title in other companies. She's been to Bloodsport defending it. She's been dominant. She's the one who
Yep.
stopped Jordan Grace's reign and been killing it since.
Yeah, exactly.
So what you're saying is there's no one left other than Killer Kelly.
At this point, I would say yes, as far as a worthy caliber opponent, because I would say Fallon Henley, but she got her ass knocked out by Lola Vice, so jury's out on that. I feel like Fallon Henley's becoming the afterthought, walking in line again, not leading Fatal Influence, now that Jessie James, the NXT Women's Champion, again, dumb booking decision. Hi, JJ. How's that latency on your side? Can you hear me? Speak.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you loud and clear. Oh, I'm on a delay now. Shit. Okay, hold on. I'll be back, I guess.
No, James. I think it's still me. Speak, Noah. Speak when I stop talking.
Speak. Talking.
Yeah. See, there's like a 3 or 4 second delay.
Yes.
Yay. Okay. Let's all make sure that the host gets a chance to talk. Do not speak over him. Try to do your best to help us. Now that we know this. Good to know.
That being said, Ash, anything further you want to add to this before we give it to JJ to moderate and delegate?
No, that's all I had to ask because I'm not up to date on TNA because I don't watch TNA. So that's why I'm asking if there's any other opponents for Masha other than Killer Kelly. Because if there is no other opponents, then why not put the belt on Killer Kelly and let her have a run with it?
Were you able to hear the question I posed before you had to reset, JJ?
No.
No, I was asking for Killer Kelly and Masha. Do you immediately give Killer Kelly the title first match out, or do you kind of milk it and get a couple of matches out of it? And everybody was giving their opinion on it. So we'll throw it back to you. You could either delegate it or answer.
I say you milk it a little bit. There's no sense in hot-shotting it. You know, we've got Slammiversary coming up in July. You know, there's still like maybe 6 weeks until that. There's no reason why we can't do an Impact match and then at the very least run it back at Slammiversary. I'm not sure what they're going to do for August and September, but we do know that October is bound for glory as well. I don't know if you want to stretch it that long. But as far as other challengers, now that Spitfire are broken up, I wouldn't mind seeing Masha give both Jody and Danny an opportunity.
Fair shout. That's a fair shout. Danny Luna is saying now she's going to show that fire still burns, and you're about to see exactly what sort of knockout she can be. Plus another one in her genesis of her TNA wrestling career that we got to think about. Indy Hartwell looking to become the knockout, as she was on commentary, of course, Walter, during our watch-along. So Indy Hartwell, Danny Luna, Killer Kelly, there's a few worthwhile candidates left to challenge Masha, but out of those three, there's only one I believe should be TNA Knockouts World Champion at this point, based on her longevity as a singles competitor in this company. Despite the fact she took a hiatus to become a mother. Again, congratulations to her. I would never denounce somebody looking to start a family.
Honestly, if you want to keep Masha strong and don't really want her to lose, you could add Indy as a triple threat and have Killer win that, but not pin Masha. But I just feel like it needs to be one-on-one. I'm a little tired of triple threats, to be honest.
Please stop saying that. Yeah, I've had enough triple threat. They're going to book a show for triple threat mania at this point if we keep booking this nonsense and triple threats. Not every big-time championship match needs a delay because you don't know how to book a one-on-one. Hello, WWE. But again, it's just one of those things right now where I think they definitely know the one-on-one program they can build towards Slammiversary that is literally 1 month and 12 days away.
I agree.
Tessa already had her shot.
This is true.
The other thing to factor in is, will TNA bring in any of the other recently released WWE superstars? You've got Priscilla Kelly, you've got Dakota Kai, you've got Elena Black, You've got Carissa Rivera now, Shotzi. You know, there's quite a few women there on the indie scene, free to wrestle at this point, that any of them could come in and be the newest signee to TNA as well to help bolster the Knockouts division.
Fair point. Very fair point.
Where were their 90 days in, like in September-ish?
Most of them were on NXT contracts, which means 30 days. The only one that I think was on a main roster contract was because Elektra Lopez wrestled tonight, so she had to still have a 30-day.
I think the only one based on those names you mentioned, and we talked about again, Styles not respected enough. Think about the Virtuosa's technical brilliance. I think about the Submission Magician, Shayna Baszler.
Oh, that's true. And Dakota is 90. She was on the main roster as well. Thank you, Nick. But pretty much all those other names that I listed were all 30 days.
You are correct.
So any of them could be coming in and making a impact come Slammiversary, if not sooner.
Yeah.
Because June 1st, the thing was lifted for a bunch of those, I believe. I know Elena Black has already launched her OF. No, I have not subscribed. I just know she's posted about it because I do follow her on X.
Elena Black being...
Everybody knows I was a huge Cora Jade fan in NXT. Okay, she was the first person I was liking to.
Gotcha.
So it's no surprise that I follow her. But I know she's announced that is live now, so that wouldn't be able to be live if she was still under her 30-day non-compete.
Right.
You know, again, Elektra Lopez competed tonight. She was part of the same releases. I know that the mystery opponent in TOS, because that was posted about on X, was a part of that release camp, and that's all I'm going to say, so that James is curious to know who it is come the watch along tomorrow.
Right. I have a feeling I know who it is because I've already seen the clips, and I try not to tell myself. Yeah. Okay. So again, any of those could have debuted. You know, obviously they wouldn't have been at the tapings that occurred today, post Against All Odds, because again, we know Carissa Rivera and that person were on other shows. But there's going to be another set of tapings in 2 weeks, I believe, for TNA. They could make their debut there ahead of Slammiversary as well. Because they'll be doing 2 nights of tapings, probably 2 shows per night for 4 hours worth of content each night to get them the rest of the way to Slammiversary.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways this could go. What they really should try and do that I don't think they've done, I don't think ever with the knockouts, they should bring back the what is that, like the Bound for Glory like series after Slammiversary to really rectify a worthy challenger for the TNA Knockouts World Championship and include some promising NXT women's talent in there as well. But yeah, as far as Slammiversary, if they're not doing Maja versus Killer Kelly, if they're not doing Inspiration versus the Elegance brand, then I don't know what they're doing. Although Indy Hartwell trying to get involved in the mix, or Danny Luna, it also could be a sub feud right there in itself, as both women right now, Indy just starting, Danny Luna starting now as a singles competitor for the first time in her TNA career. It would be an interesting development to see what that leads to. And right there, you got 3 knockout storylines heading into your second biggest pay-per-view of the year.
There you go. And then now that you're back, we discussed the women. You did touch on Mariah May, correct? I don't remember because of my glitch there.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Okay.
I also touched on the fact that she was literally inspired by a tryout she had, a WWE tryout in the UK. Of course, JJ, you know, she's British.
Yeah.
It was literally that day that she talked about the dream to be a WWE superstar seemed very realistic. She never quit going after it. She ended up going to Japan, forever grateful for that, her time in Stardom with Mina Shirakawa. And then AEW picked her up, and that's really where she got to shine and show us he's capable of. And why she gave us the greatest storyline probably in women's professional wrestling history. Now the Glamour has a chance to once again redefine what it means to be a WWE superstar in the ever-evolving NXT women's landscape. And if someone deserves to be NXT Women's Champion just on pedigree of what they've given to us as a competitor in the ring and a character, I put Mariah May far above tag team specialist Jessie Jane.
So then the other one is, what did you think about the return of Ron Killings tonight?
I'm confused. I mean, again, when a fan is hurt as hard as Ron Killings, R-Truth was with John Cena, it's an interesting development, and I don't think John Cena is going to appreciate it. I can see them running it back with him and Ron Killings now for the title. But, I mean, again, if WWE's already booking a shirt for the man, I think you already got your answer unless you're kind of like, oblivious to the business. WWE is marketing Ron Killings R-Truth. Yeah, he still works for them. So I think we're just basically worked over at this point. As WWE tries to blur the lines of how realistic fans are with social media, fan-based footage, blah, 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 work the dirt sheets. It's just one of those things where I didn't expect it, but I probably should have. And we'll see how John Cena answers this or where he attacks him.
All right. That all said, we're going to do the watch long trailer again, and then we'll come back for a little bit of free conversation because those were the only things that I really had on deck for tonight. So if you guys have topics and things you'd like for us to discuss, get those topics in. Super chats will definitely be discussed. Otherwise, it has to be a really good question. So you've got about a minute and a half to do that. Noah, you're going to be on the button.
And now for a taste of things to come.
I don't understand this whole thing about two nights becoming more of a thing where I fear the Royal Rumble might soon become that. But regardless, you know what the trailer is about. Truly encompassing, celebrating, embracing, engaging, and reacting to all the wrestling. All right. As we are back here now with the Saturday Night host by Regular Wrestling, JJ Williams.
Indeed.
All right. So not a super chat, but from Emmanuel Dominguez, who has now been a member of the members only section of my channel for 25 months.
There you go.
Is the wrestling industry missing a Mick Foley in putting over wrestlers in hardcore matches? I don't think hardcore wrestling is as big as it was during Mix era. There's definitely still a market for it because GCW and even some AEW to an extent with things like Blood and Guts, Anarchy in the Arena, and Jon Moxley in general. But I'm going to say no just because I don't think hardcore wrestling, extreme wrestling is as prominent and prevalent as it was in the mid to late 90s. Anybody else?
I'm gonna agree with you, but I feel like the closest thing is Moxley and Darby Allin. Darby Allin still puts people over in some crazy stuff. So I mean, you still have it here and there, but it's a different time, different generation. I don't think you need it.
Well, on that note, Walter, I look at the Japanese pro wrestling landscape where hardcore is a whole different level of definition of insanity and hardcore with both men and women. I think about Julia's early beginnings and prominence in Ice Ribbon with Crazy Girl Suzuki or Risa Sera. They had a death-defying hardcore matches. I think about the Freedoms promotion. Ash, you and I really talk about that. I told you about Barb Suzuki's show with Rina Yamashita, of course, and Suzuki. We got El Desperado with that Death Pain Invitational, courtesy of Crazy Monkey, Jun Kasai. So I do think there is a certain love note to hardcore wrestling that some people hold very strong to a degree. And there is a respect earned because El Desperado, he earned the respect of Jun Kasai in that world. And think about States Gear. We did just call one of the most damning matches recently in TNA with Sami Callihan and Vance Warner. And at the end of the day, they did that as an homage and love to elevate and make it infamous for them, as Sami Callihan wanted to, in that freaking barbed wire massacre. I also think about what we just saw with the knockouts on TNA Impact and Monsters Ball. The idea literally created by the monster himself, Abyss. And Zaya Brookside found her dark side and was able to overcome Rosemary at that night. A pretty damn good match. So there is a certain generation, I believe, that pays homage to hardcore wrestling, but as far as somebody who leads it and wants to put people over through it, Western side, I think you're right, but Japan's a whole different story. And June 19th, Lord help us, is going to prove that when El Desperado faces Jun Kasai one more time in what the fuck you can call, I don't know what that's going to happen at Corrigan Hall. Lord help both those men.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Ash?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, Despy and Darby Allin were like my go-to people for like people who help put over others with death matches, especially over in Japan with El Desperado was doing, especially with that one match he had with Clark Connors.
Mm-hmm.
First hardcore match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. And Clark Connors, he proved his mental in a match that he's not used to. And again, he has the scars to prove it. Now the point he uses wheel-san, and he's literally taking a freaking tire wheel to the back. What the hell is wrong with you, crazy war dog? So again, there's a certain environment and culture to hardcore wrestling, but I don't think right now there's a pioneer leading it to put people over in it.
Yeah, and the closest I can think of to GCW would probably be Joey Janela, because I've seen him put over people more than I've seen him win since we've started covering them. I mean, Matt Tremont is freaking a deathmatch god, but I always see him win. So, you know, we don't know. You can't really say that he puts people over if he's the one that's always coming out on top. And I guess you can get over even on a loss, but, you know, it's still early for me to tell as far as he goes. James, would you agree with that?
Hang on. So, specifically for who is that in reference to? Sorry, I missed the name for some reason.
Hold on, JJ. Let me help you here because clearly James has once again earned the phrase, as you know it, chat, you know it, Walter, you know it. On the count of three, type and say it with me, everybody. 1, 2, Ash, unmute and please say it with us. 3.
Damn it, James, you freaking idiot!
Hey.
The two names he mentioned were like for over in GCW were Joey Janela putting over people in hardcore matches, and someone we called him the Prestige Show in Matt Tremont. Although he mostly wins and not instead of putting people over.
Okay.
By the way, you did a great job at Prestige. Nice job holding the gimmick strong, Ash. I'm proud.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Don't you start with me, JJ.
Listen.
Listen.
Okay, so Tremont's a good promo, but not necessarily a he's a one-trick pony. He likes to bleed, and he likes to bleed a lot, and he has a pus bubble, so we call him Senor Pus Bubble for a reason. And then there is Joey Janela. He's good in the ring, I guess, but oh my god, his mic skills. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it 100, Chief. Here's one name that I think will be a name for the WWE going forward as a hardcore icon, very, very reminiscent of Mick Foley. Atticus Cogar. I think he's the next Mick Foley. Darby is up there. Darby is the next Jeff Hardy. He is the next Mick Foley. And what I mean by that is Atticus Cogar knows how to tell a story depending on the situation. And I think JJ can co-sign with me on that because we've called a lot of his matches. I think he's got all the tools to be that next to Ken Mick Foley, honestly.
And I'm looking forward to calling him versus Janela in a dog collar match tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. That's going to be a good one. Like, all of his gimmick matches that he has, I mean, it's GCW, but it's really hard in a promotion full of gimmick matches to have everything that you have to make sense. To make sense. He always has a reason for his matches, and it's always basically a blood feud for the most part. And I think part of it is because he is as insane as Cactus was back in the day, that you could tell that story, but he knows the psychology on how to make the gimmick of a crazy man work, so Atticus has a lot of upside, and I think there's a reason he's a WWE ID prospect, and he's a hardcore wrestler, and despite that, he's a WWE ID prospect because he's got a lot of upside in the storytelling department, and I think they're definitely looking for people to tell stories and make as much money with the storytelling of a guy like that. So,
well, I do want to correct you on one thing. He's not an ID prospect.
Is he not?
He did have a match in the ID tournament that we covered in Vegas that Walter and I did. How the stipulation was if he won the match, he would become an ID prospect. And Fuego del Sol interfered and cost him the match to help further set up the career versus mask match that we called its break, where Fuego lost the match and now is KJ Orso.
Got you. Okay. Did not know that. Well, fair enough. The fact that they even considered him and they're like, yeah, you could say that. I don't care. Like, that does give me high praise that WWE is at least looking out for him.
Yeah, it shows that he's on their radar. The fact that they were even willing to allow him to be in the tournament with that stipulation, whether they knew they weren't going to have him win or not is irrelevant. Yeah. They allowed him to be in the tournament just like they allowed Izzy to have her match against Zara Zacher that same night.
Yeah.
Where we all pretty much speculated that if she won against Zara, once she turned 18 on May 1st, she'd be an official part of the ID program. Unfortunately, both of them did lose their matches. So we'll never know what happened there. But again, the fact that he was in the match in the first place showed he was on their radar, even if it was of GCW stuff that they were kind of cross-promoting and cross-branding because of the blood sport and everything. He's on the radar, and that's the important thing.
Get those eyes on you. I mean, there's a reason why they've been eyeing Rico, the Progress champion. got eyes all over the world right now. But the global organization is there that is WID prospect that still has to go on. Can't say I don't blame them. There's no telling who they got their eyes on across any style here right now. So we'll, see if there is somebody to lead this type of style to a point that the Monster, Abyss, and Mick Foley did during the longevity that so many men have followed since then, including not limited to Darby Allin, Jon Moxley, Atticus Kruger, Vance Warner, Sami Callihan. The list goes on and on. I mean, hell, Walter, you and I called the most damnedest violent pay-per-view of all time, probably in our fandom, not from ECW last year, from AEW All Out. And Chris Statler, Will Nightingale, and Swerve Strickland, him and Adam Page stole the damn show.
Oh my God! Don't remind me. There's some crazy shit they done.
I still don't know how Chris Statler got the glass out of her legs with that split drop of those tacks. That was damning ridiculous.
We just saw freaking Swerve get his tongue stapled just a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, man, Ash saw that.
Yeah,
freaking Damon Buttercamp, Powerhouse Hobbs, who was shot and stabbed, got stapled in the head by a bug, and he's like, "You did that to me," and he didn't even phase him. It just made him more pissed off. And then Ash broke when freaking Swerve stapled a buck's nuts during Anarchy in the Arena. So again, jury is out.
Man, I love Swerve Strickland. I think it was I can't remember what year it was, but in Full Gear, they're like Strickland and Hangman had a match.
Yeah.
And it was going fine. And then as soon as the blood got involved, I'm like, all right, we're interested now. Let's do this.
I was about to say, for those that don't
that was my reaction.
For those that don't know, Ash is a masochist like me. She's just more forward outgoing when it happens. I'm just more contained because I have to be the play-by-play commentary guy. But Drew Kasai and El Desperado, different story maybe. It depends if we're calling that shit. But to Ash's point, that was Full Gear 2023, where Swerve not claimed Hammond's spot. He created one for himself.
Yeah. There's also a space somewhere on Twitter where you can hear me say, and I quote, "I'm a hardcore bitch."
Okay, accurate. I'll take word for it.
In words, meaning that I like hardcore matches. Like, I'm a bitch who likes hardcore matches. That's what I meant when I said that.
Well,
James was in that space. James was in that space.
As I'm about to say, as someone who watches Pro Wrestling E, where grunge, punk, and hardcore bitches is the foundation of that all-women's company in the UK, I admire and respect that.
All right. So that was a good little impromptu conversation. Thank you, Emmanuel Dominguez is for that.
Yeah.
Now one from his sister, also a member for 25 months. Thank you very much. Arlene Dominguez is. When Mercedes wins against Tony, so she's not even putting up in the fact that she can.
Damn.
When Mercedes wins against Tony, who do you see dethroning Mercedes?
Camille.
You said that very quickly.
Yeah, that was quick.
Yeah.
Look, all I'm going to say, she held the Burke for a record amount of time. She is a powerhouse. They left that without an answer because she's handling other projects right now. By the way, God bless her and her work also on saving souls. God bless you. I say you got to finish the bow on that. And if not her, looking at this ever-evolving AEW landscape that seems to be in a much better place right now from a moral standpoint and from a wrestling passion standpoint, love these freaking theaters and ballrooms. There's a who's who in this women's division right now that I would love to see take that title or any title from Mercedes Moné, including but not limited to Megan Bain, Athena, Sky Blue, Julia Hart, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander. But I think you have to finish what you started with Camille. So I'm going to go with that. Plus, she was the closest one to her when she first arrived in AEW. Although Thekla right now is a first shot as well, being the newest member. But we're about to see her go hardcore against Jamie Hayter sooner rather than later. So I think she'll be busy for the moment. But yeah, I'm going to go with Camille because I really think Camille can be a champion in AEW. As valuable as a commodity as she was in Jimmy, what's his last name? NWA. So yeah.
Anybody? Anybody else?
trying to think of names right now that sound believable and logical given AEW's booking right now, and I sadly can't think of a woman outside of arguably Willow Nightingale, and that's it.
Yeah, that's who I would like to see do is the one that started all this with Mercedes. Defeated Mercedes in the finals of the New Japan Strong Tournament to crown the first ever champion. Mercedes dethroned her for the TBS title. Willow dethroned her for the
Yeah, and of course, Will Nightingale right now is in that blood battle with Maria Shafir. I need Maria Shafir versus Will Nightingale in a hardcore match. But also Chris Statlander, looming. She's dangerous. Don't know what she's doing except going to Pro Wrestling Eve here pretty soon. Yes, taking on this is Vaughn. But that's a fair shout out because no one's had more history of Mercedes Moné as of late than Willow Nightingale. And Willow being a former TBS champion. What's the next step up when we talked about during Money in the Bank, JJ? The AEW World Championship. And I think Willow is more than deserving for a chance to run with it.
I honestly don't think Tony's losing to Mercedes. I think that's going to be the one title she doesn't get. I don't think she's beating Tony.
I'm with
Ooh,
Walter
that's a
on
bold
that.
statement. That's a very bold statement.
I don't be when they didn't make it title for titles. It's done. Like she's not winning that belt. I almost bet you it's because Camille interferes, and then Camille's going to take the TBS title off her. That's what I think is going to happen. Personally, I don't think Tony is. Again, I was worried initially because I thought they were going to do the title for title, but they decided not to have two of the same type of match on the same card. So this is just for the world championship. So I don't think she's winning. I think Tony retains somehow.
I think Tony retains. You work Megan Bayne back into the title picture, and Megan Bayne is the one to beat Tony Storm.
Unless you know, we talked about this, Ash, James, and JJ, and again, can't argue. This company's women's roster has a more definitive quantity women's tag team division to actually have women's tag team championships with story implications, hardcore or not. If they go at Mega Bayne Penelope Ford as a prime candidate, then that's the team that's winning the tag titles. Otherwise, I definitely like your idea because, again, Megan Bayne literally nearly killed Rocky. Tony Storm survived with her big package.
Yeah.
I was about to ask when Walter brought that up because I was about to mention if Tony does retain against Mercedes, who gets the title off of Tony if it's not Mercedes?
Well, there is still unanswered history with Jamie Hayter. And Jamie Hayter never messed with timeless Tony Storm. She lost to Outcast Tony Storm. I think eventually you need to run that here with somebody with a love for the 70s and somebody that believes she's older than the 1940s. So I would hold out for that because I think Jamie Hayter deserves her chance back holding that championship. It was a buy that gave out on her in the end of the day. Damn it.
I love Arlene's comment.
Of course you do. Harley Cameron get well soon, by the way. She got in that hardcore match.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I loved it.
Yeah, she did.
It was amazing. I liked it too, but damn, poor Harley.
Hey, she's a crazy bitch, and she freaking showed it. And we saw what happened. She saw her own blood. She didn't go down easily.
I mean, you know how the Australians are, right? Goddamn, they're a bunch of crazy people. We love them for it.
Well, I think any woman in wrestling that sees their own blood is crazy. You could ask anybody in a hardcore match. I mean, hell, he just talked about Cora Jade. Elena Black was literally known as a death match queen. I asked her if she could show me that during Masha. She didn't. Now she's free from WWE to be herself again in the most violent way possible. Let's see what she can do where she's not afraid of being injured.
I see some people putting the Toxic Spider Takia in there. I don't think you should do that. I think you let her get established, and maybe after that she can end Athena's run and finally put the defeat in Athena. Let her have a little run with the ROH title, then get to the TBS, and then the women's. I don't think you hot shot her already. You got to familiarize this audience with her, because only people crazy enough to watch everything, every little thing like Noah, are actually familiar with her.
Hey!
You gotta get the audience, the American audience, familiar with her before you just shoot a title on her, because then people will be like, "Who the hell is this? And why did you do that?" It'll start an uproar.
And fair enough, but also if you've been watching Ring of Honor, I resent that statement. If you've been watching Ring of Honor like I have, you've seen recently La Mera Mera Thunder Rosa, also from Texas, has talked alongside Persephone from CMLL, and Thunder Rosa has targeted Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. And correct me if I'm mistaken, isn't Supercard of Honor also held in Texas the exact same weekend as All In, and both Athena and Thunder Rosa are from Texas?
Yep.
I think you got the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship match at Supercard of Honor, JJ and James.
Quite possibly.
But
and
I love this fact.
If what I'm hearing is true, Athena's contract may be coming up here shortly as well. And apparently there is interest from Papa H in bringing her back. So
Of course. Of course there is. I mean, again, can you blame him? I mean, she was a spearhead for his Black and Gold NXT. She was the one to literally supposed to anybody fought dethrone a freaking Asuka. Why Asuka vacated the championship because no one took it off her. So again, but I love all these different dynamics. Think about what we're talking about here with the AEW Women's Division. Thekla, Mina, Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm, Megan Bayne, Athena, Thunder Rosa. There's so many different dynamics this division could go in Ring of Honor and in AEW that we haven't really considered for the longest time in this company. It's really great to see how well this place looks in a brighter spotlight for the women particularly.
I mean, with the men, you get that weird wild card, whatever, where you can get a title shot, whatever you call that shit. Maybe it's time to do that with the women and make that title mean something, and let them be able to just surprise and cash in a contract for whenever they want.
the Casino Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Gauntlet.
That's
that
fair.
I
I
mean,
wouldn't be opposed to having a Casino Gauntlet match at All In for the women.
Yeah, I think that could work.
No. Last time they had a women's Casino Gauntlet match was All Out, and I believe it was it was even further than that. It was like 3 years ago. They have not done a women's Casino Gauntlet match since
I started watching, I don't think.
No, I take that back. Cincinnati, Ohio, in that music hall where Motley Crue, Toni Storm, was able to win, and then she went on to face Mariah May back at Grand Summit to her performance, pulling the world of everyone's eyes and winning the title back for the 4th time, which of course led to the Hollywood ending. That was the ending of Mariah May's AEW career as we knew it. Brava. But since then, you're right. They have not done one.
I mean, the roster's deep enough where you can do it again. It might be time.
True enough. I mean, hell, that's where Megan Bayne made her return. Who the hell do you have return during this freaking thing?
Or debut.
It's that too, JJ.
If you save it for when people like Shayna 90 days and stuff end, that's who you debut.
I like that idea, but again, Walter, goes back to our earlier conversation. People like Natalya, Shayna, Serena Deeb, Diana Purrazzo, their styles are unique beyond all other women in wrestling, and it just doesn't resonate on mainstream television unless you're TNA. And again, they stopped that at this point, and no one has been as technical as the virtual Diana Purrazzo, not even Macho Savage. So I just don't see them doing that. If Shayna Baszler were to get involved in anything, not blood sport, I put her in the Ring of Honor Women's Career Championship tournament. But I think that field's already filled. Ironically enough, I think Maria Shafir is one of them.
It'd be interesting, but they don't have to. Again, they don't have to sign everybody that gets released. That's the issue. Why they got a bloated roster now. So some stuff you're just gonna have to let go.
And WWE doesn't have a bloated roster. Do you see what you're saying?
WWE needs to stop the shit too.
Yeah,
they're the first proponents of it.
They just absorbed AAA basically and TNA. So you got to think about basically those rosters are WWE's rosters too.
Pretty much. It's just a matter of putting pen to paper when they acquisition TNA.
Yep.
which that will be everybody is like, well, WWE is going to monopolize. No, that's just because TKO sucked at running TNA. I mean, I'm sorry, Anthem sucked at running TNA. Nothing to do with WWE having to buy them out. That was inevitable.
All right. So unless we get any more super chatted questions, this will be the last one from our good buddy from the Spaces, Nick.
Yes.
What is the difference from being worked and something being a work? And I'm assuming this is coming up because of the Ron Killings thing, because Triple H, I guess, during the press conference said it's all part of the show. That the release was all part of the show. And our truth son, Christopher, is like, stop capping. This isn't a work. He was released. So what's the difference between being worked and something being a work? I would say, and you guys can co-sign on this if you want.
Go ahead.
I would say being worked is when something like this occurs and you're forcefully almost being convinced that something isn't what it was seen to be, when all along your gut is right and you're kind of being lied to. And something being a work is when it was always meant to be part of a greater storyline. Like, I don't think this was meant to be part of a greater storyline. I think our truth was released. WWE caught the backlash. They weren't expecting the backlash, and they backpedaled. And even if he's going to be gone when his contract expires, which is what is still being rumored, they at least brought him back to television until that point because of the backlash. Now, something being a work would be like El Grande Americano being Chad Gable.
Oh my God.
Calm down, Noah, because I'm going to admit it. We all know that El Grande Americano is Chad Gable.
Yes.
But it's all part of a bigger storyline. It is a work that they are two different people. Because we have seen them both in the same place at the same time. That is something being a work. Whereas I feel like Triple H is trying to forcefully work us here into thinking this was all part of the plan, when in reality it wasn't. That's my definition of the difference.
Well, I think you definitely have some substance to your analysis there in both definitions. Undertaker said himself, perception is reality. Christian Cage talking about how he outworks everyone to working everyone. Again, a slightly different sub-tangent, but you still kind of get the idea. Mark Henry retiring, Salmon Jack. What did he do? Drop John Cena. It's one of those things right now where you take credit for something that feels natural versus more so being actually artificial. I think is another way to look at both of those definitions. And to somebody that maybe never seen wrestling before or WWE, they might think, okay, who's this person under the mask? He's impressive. And then people are telling them about this other person, like, who's that? It's almost like, leading the blind versus trying to, fool the actually intelligent. I think that's another way of really looking at both these things. And whether or not the company that's pulling it off profits off of people's stupidity they think they have, or people's actual intelligence and knowing what's actually going on, going along with it, I think it's a whole different type of two conversations.
Anybody else?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Walter, do you want to go?
I was just gonna say JJ got it right on the head. So
yeah. I am going to use the bathroom real quick.
Ash, do you have anything you want to add regarding this?
now I can't think of anything. That JJ did a really good explanation on it.
As he usually does. Freaking wordsmith.
Well, thank you. And it looks like we did get a super chat from Manuel. Unfortunately, it does have spoilers in it. So for those of you that didn't watch Money in the Bank, unfortunately, you are going to get spoiled here as we have to address the super chat. But, now that Seth has won, is he cashing in on Cody when he beats Cena, or Jay and goes predictable? I think he goes predictable and he cashes it in on Jay after his match with Gunther on Monday night. I think somehow Jay retains, and then because he will have fought an all-out war with Gunther, here comes Seth to take the opportunity, cash in the briefcase, become champion. It just makes sense to me, because Seth and his vision and their mission statement and everything that they're doing right now will just kind of be anchored if he becomes champion.
Yeah.
Then you can look to Braun and Bronson to make a run for those tag titles.
Yeah, who's the tag champs on Raw again? I completely forgot.
New Day.
It's a New Day.
Yeah, the New Day.
Okay, that's why it's irrelevant. Anyway, yeah, I absolutely agree. It's not what I'm telling lies. That's why I absolutely agree with JJ. But here's the thing. He cashed in success with the Cash of the Century last time, as we talked about literally a decade ago. You talked about two particular men that weren't involved. Again, it's spoiled at this point. At Money in the Bank. We know they're on Monday Night Raw. What if bell rings, they cause disqualification, and Seth's lust for power is denied once again, this time by two ghosts of his past? We saw how CM Punk screwed Drew McIntyre at this very event last year when he cashed in. I don't think CM Punk and Sami Zayn are going to stop at nothing to make sure Seth freaking Rollins is not the World Heavyweight Champion. And I will say this, based on the Intuit Dome, JJ, you saw as well as I did, that entire Intuit Dome was not yeeting, and why he may be over like Rover with the merchandise. It is one of those things right now where I do think we've kind of exhausted the yeet train a little bit. So again, does Jay need the championship? That's also hindsight. Does Seth Rollins need the championship? Again, also hindsight. But from a storytelling standpoint, you probably would say yes. But I think he's going to focus on Jey Uso, and Seth is going to lose his cash opportunity after the bell rings due to CM Punk or Seth, or CM Punk or Sammy, watch. Or before the bell rings, Sammy and CM Punk stop him from cashing in. He still has the briefcase, and he still has that chance later on. But I do think a cash opportunity is going to happen, and I think Seth is only going to primarily focus on Jey Uso.
All right.
Yeah, it would make sense for Seth Rollins to go after the World Heavyweight title, because after all, is he not the inaugural champion for this variation of the World Heavyweight title?
Exactly.
He is. All right, we got another one from Arlene Dominguez. Is $5. Thank you, Arlene.
Here we go.
With the surprise appearance of R-Truth, is this a sign that fans need to stop listening to the dirt sheets? Yes.
Absolutely.
Is that a real question that anyone needs to answer?
I was about to
say. Yeah.
I was about to fucking say they needed to stop listening to them for a while. You know what? Apropos thing that I retweeted that I think it actually fits. Something that Baron Corbin said that I actually fucking agreed with. Dave Meltzer said some bullshit. It's something about TKO.
What?
And then he said,
Dave Meltzer saying bullshit? Oh my god, that is so unheard of.
I can't believe it. And then Tom Pestock, now known as Bishop Dyer in MLW, the former Baron Corbin in WWE, says,
Sure did.
Someone should count the amount of toxic fans you have created with your nonsense. You are responsible for the division between fans, ruined storylines, false reports, tribalism, and negativity surrounding wrestling. You are a black cloud over all wrestling. And quite honestly, you could really take what Bishop Dyer said to Dave Meltzer and apply it to everybody in the IWC doing a dirt sheet. Except for Aaron Rep, because at least he gives a voice to every fucking body. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of danger in that, though, considering your opinions matter goes to everybody with a brain, everybody without a brain, but everyone with a keyboard, though, James. So it's almost like he welcomes an evil with open arms and has no moderation over it.
It's just like everyone needs to like think for themselves and take all the dirt sheets with a grain of salt. Unless the companies they themselves mention, hey, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Take everything you read with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Or just don't read it at all
Not-
and see it leaving.
Just because it's on the internet does not mean it's true.
It doesn't matter if you read it there.
That's what Jeff and I said for years. It's just like, unless it comes from AEW, TNA, WWE, now TKO, take everything you read with a grain of salt. You know, and like I have said it numerous times, and I'm not the most religious man in the world, but the last time I checked the King James Version of the Bible, there were no books of Meltzer, Sapp, Alvarez, or anything like that in the Bible. Therefore, the word is not gospel.
I can literally name you all 66 books in the Bible right now as somebody that literally, of course, helps manage, who am I kidding? AV's a team ministry every Sunday morning, which is why I leave you crazy yahoos at 2:30 in the morning, because I protect my mentality. And that being said, again, ways of the simple man. Put this down, get a life, even if you don't get the woman of your life, you know who you are in this male-dominated community, and turn off your notifications. Freaking think for yourself for once, you fucking idiots.
Yep.
We did get another super chat from Arlene Dominguez.
They're going to keep this going all night. Here we go. Lionel Richie style. All right.
Well, as much as I do enjoy the super chats, and normally wouldn't say this, unless Emmanuel sends one more to even them, let's leave this as the last one, because James and I do have an early day tomorrow to do the ECW double feature. So I would like to get some rest. Noah usually bows out at 2.5 hours, which is like 4 minutes from now. So he's getting ready to depart us here shortly. Let's just, like I said, unless Emmanuel sends one more to even out 2 and 2, let's let this be the last one.
Yeah, I was being graceful to not give me the extra hour, but I completely agree, and that's very noble of JJ. And wise man, he's learning the ways of the simple man. Go ahead.
So Arlene says, what do you think Seth whispered in Cody's ear? And I assume this is referring to SmackDown last night.
Correct.
I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, with Seth, everything is a huge question mark. We've long said that Seth Rollins is WWE's version of the Joker. So just to be funny, I'm gonna say, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? And if you know, you know. And if you don't know, go watch Tim Burton's Batman with Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
Yeah.
Anybody else with any thoughts as to what Seth whispered into Cody's ear?
I see dead people.
What? So he whispered, "What do you want to talk about?"
That's good.
Wow.
That's good. That's pretty good.
About to say, I would think, though, with the fact that Seth literally has been endorsed now by Paul Heyman as the guy to lead, I would think he would say, I'm the captain now.
I want your soul. Nick says, I want your soul.
Not again. We've already been through this again. Not again.
And we got Petty's final boss that might have been changing Henry's direction as we know it behind the scenes. All right? Really?
It's Nick, okay? Like, do you expect anything less from him, seriously?
I don't.
I love that.
No, you know what
You don't
since it is
Nick the way the rest of us do.
listen.
Man, I love our other Canadian friend we have in the chat.
Just for Nick's sake. Ready? he whispered in his ear, "Hey, yo, what's your Waffle House order? I'm thinking of going there later." Or what's your Wendy's order? Yeah, there you go. Triple
Now, I
stack.
think Emmanuel's got the best one. Emmanuel's got the best one. He said, "Tell James something."
No.
Yeah, he whispered something in his ear, all right.
Yeah, damn right he did. That
But
was
He
he
told-
told what it is.
He told him to just subscribe to Rage of Wrestling.
Yes. Subscribe to Brian for wrestling too. Don't be a dickhead.
Unbelievable.
I am your sword, not your shield now.
Nice.
Knowing Seth trolling, he probably whispered in his ear, "Adrenaline."
Listen to this song.
John Cena versus Cody Rhodes.
I'm about to say, this just turned into a whole different conversation. We're losing our minds here, JJ. And the fade. And the fade.
He said, he whispered, oh.
Jax!
He probably
"Oh."
whispered to... Never mind.
That's enough, guys. Let's turn this thing off. Here's what he whispered. Time to say goodbye and good night.
Yes.
He's not Omega.
Yeah, true point. Yeah, I guess that would be
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus. Well, what a freaking way. Now prediction.
He said, "I'm Batman."
I am Batman. I am justice.
Probably whispered, "How you liking the big leagues, kid?"
Damn.
I mean, he's been part of the big leagues for who knows how long. Although, to your point, he started up against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania at 38. So, I mean, there's always a plan B. Maybe he whispered that. Again, was it serious? Was it serious? Was it cynical? Was it, cryptic? The world may never know. We do know this, and fuck it. It's after the time. It's a spoiler. Let's just go ahead and just kind of like, here's JJ, what happened in the main event before he leaves with all this talk. Because for all we know, with the fact we got the glorified Super Bowl ring off at Perth in Crown Jewel, it very well could be Seth freaking Rollins versus Cody Rhodes.
That's fair.
True that.
I would be down for that.
Hey, I mean, revisit a classic without a torn freaking bicep or pectoral. Go for it. Dadgum.
Lee's got a good one too. Asked him when am I going to be on your podcast?
When you freaking buy the alcohol sponsorship for it. Not Fireball, whatever the hell it is, some whiskey. I forget. Blech.
Wheatley. It's Wheatley American vodka.
Whatever. Dumb potato juice. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Potato juice.
I mean, he's not wrong. Vodka is made with potatoes.
All right. Well,
let's go
that's
ahead and
time.
start running through the books here.
Okay.
James.
And me. You can find me on the Facebook, J-He-Man-Heber, and on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram sometimes at JHeberSide95. Do really content on the internet. Early night, you'll see me again tomorrow for Tournament of Survival and Cage of Survival. It's gonna be a fun time. It will be funny. And something went down. Don't know what happened. JJ went away. Well, yeah, there's that, and then my uncle's documentary coming out this week. Be on the lookout for that. I don't know if it will probably be on my uncle's channel, but I do not seem to have a graphic for that, so that was derpy. Oh well. But yeah, you can check out my character select series where I'm playing Super Mario Eclipse, which is a mod ROM hack of Super Mario Sunshine, and I rage a lot, and it's funny. So if you like me raging, go check it out. There you go. We did Hotel v Hotel this week. It was funny. We had good time. We had fun time. So there you go. That's all I got.
Noah.
Damn it, JJ, really? That graphics got to get updated at some point with something else. Anyway, Let's go ahead, folks. Again, I barely plug myself. Subscribe to Ash more so. Subscribe to Ultimo Show. If you want to hear me say something, then freaking go on the X and on YouTube and Fox 916 for all things wrestling. I primarily call everything these yahoos have me pretty much in the proverbial flipper chair to do, and I also lead City Predicting. We got City Predicting coming up for so much more fun stuff, including AEW All In. But I'll see you all this Wednesday for another AEW 4-hour spectacular with Summer Blockbuster, which is sure to be something. Thank you, Charles, by the way, as that fills my bubble perfectly. I don't know how that's possible. Again, at the end of the day, there are no winners, losers, no bears, just fans on pins for this patch we all share. At the end of the day, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families no matter how much they are idiots, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's truly as simple as that. You can even love an idiot. Trust me, I've had my whole life.
All right, Ash.
You can find me on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, at ShadowBadAsh. And don't be a dickhead. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Batty for Wrestling.
Yeah, man. Subscribeth.
Walter.
Okay, well, first of all, Mike Santana, how'd you do a Puerto Rican week and not include this woman in it?
Right.
Like, how did you not fucking book Tiffany? Like,
How
what
about
the hell?
how you not book Gino Rivera?
Right?
Yeah, just keep the list going, why don't you? Continue.
Anyways, but you won't. You can subscribe to me at the YouTube at Rage of Wrestling, and of course Instagram is walter.cruz.940. X and Blue Skies at Walter Alex Cruz, and yeah, please subscribe because now WrestleMania is in Vegas and we need to get there.
Stop looking at me. Don't get
And
any
then, of
ideas,
course-
folks.
Yeah, right.
And then, of course, you can find me on X at ROWJJ Williams and Casa D18 Studio. Casa D18 Studio is where I participate in and host the spaces.
Yes.
Of course, subscribe to me on Casa D18 Studios on YouTube. And you can find me at the Renegade JJ Williams on Insta.
Yep, that's everybody. And whether or not officially, Ash, we're coming to
Ooh,
Yes!
hello.
Yes! 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 Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Walter, damn you. Again, folks, whether or not me and Ash cover Dominion, literally 1 week from today, to be determined.
And then again, folks, as it was made official during Money in the Bank, it is official here. WrestleMania Vegas will be a watch along at the very least. Don't know if we will get everybody there like we want to. That's all up to you, as Walter needs to get to 200 subscribers. Get him to 200 subscribers, and we can probably get 2 to 3 of us to Vegas. Power is in your hands.
The future is in your hands. Only you can spread the wildfire.
Brett, come on.
About to say, they don't need more wildfires out there in California. Let alone
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I was talking about,
And in Canada, too. We have wildfires going on in Canada right now, too. It's just finally made its way to Toronto, which is really scary and concerning, yeah.
y'all need to freaking cut down your forests or figure out what's going on up there or do something.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's Saturday Shenanigans. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being with us for 11 hours almost of wrestling coverage over the course of the day. Started for me at 11:30 a.m. with our pre-show coverage for Worlds Collide. It's now 10:30, little after 10:30 here on the West Coast. So yeah, almost 11 hours of continuous coverage with only a little bit of buffer time in between things. So thank you all for joining us for this long trek today. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for James and I and our GCW double feature. Those streams will be posted here shortly as soon as I fine tune and figure out exactly how long the intro is to Tournament of Survival to know what we can fast forward through. But yeah, stay tuned for that. 2 GCW watch-alongs tomorrow. And then to Noah's point, AEW Summer Blockbuster on Wednesday, another 4-hour extravaganza.
I'm ready.
Not sure who will be joining Noah for that one. It will not be me, as I do work, but it'll either be Walter or James or maybe even Ash, depending on her work schedule. We don't.
One moment, let me double check. 1 moment.
Freaking live check here, JJ. Look what you started. You should have did this behind
That's
the
the 11th, yeah?
Yes.
I'm off Wednesday.
So there we go. So maybe we'll get Ash there. So make sure you guys tune in for all that. Keep supporting. Make sure you subscribe, as everyone said, to our channels. Make sure you thumb up the videos. Turn the notification bells on. Leave comments on the videos. That's how you boost our visibility in the algorithm. That way more people will see us, get our videos recommended, subscribe. Make sure you copy the links, share them on your Facebook pages, your X pages, share them in wrestling groups that you may be in. Get the word out about us. If you've already subscribed, the best thing you can do is refer us to other people so that they subscribe. Again, Daddy for Wrestling, Rage of Wrestling, J. Hebert Side 95, N. Foster 1916, Casa D18 Studios. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Thank you all for joining us. Have yourself a good evening.
Have a good night, folks. So glad the inspiration's back. Women's Tag Team Wrestling might